This broadcast is copywritten by the SAGU Sports Network for the private use of our audience. Any other use of the broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the SAGU Sports Network consent is prohibited.
Welcome to the NCCAA Victory Bowl, brought to you by the SAGU Sports Network. We are live from beautiful Lumpkin Stadium here in Waxahachie, Texas. I'm Adam Ferguson, joined by my partner, as always, Tim Roberts. Tim, how are we doing today?
It's just so awesome to be back here. Back here for one more huge game. Two great teams on the field, looking to end the year with a little bit of hardware. Anytime there's hardware on the line, a banner, a ring, anything, you just know this is going to be a great day.
On today's pregame show, we're going to take a look back at the seasons that both of these teams, Sterling College and SAGU, had, as well as a look into the NAIA playoffs, which start today. And to help us alongside that, we have double trouble today here with our NAIA specialists. We've got Joey McWilliams with MidwestSports.net and Corey Thorpe with NAIA F-Ball. You guys know them very well. They've been with us all season and have done a great job with their in-depth knowledge of the NAIA. Corey and Joey, we're just going to get right into it. It's an exciting weekend for football, because not only, like I said, do we have the Victory Bowl today between Sterling College and SAGU, the NAIA playoffs start. Those top dogs are in action today. We're going to walk through some of the matchups. We're going to start with the top, Lindsey Wilson versus Montana Western. Corey, hit me up with who you think is going to win that game, what you think as far as the matchup goes in that game.
Yeah, this is going to be one that's going to take place Sunday at noon Central Time. Definitely, I'm thinking that Lindsey Wilson's going to win this one. Just too much through the air for Montana Western's defense.
And I think a lot of us are going to go this end. The 1 versus 16 matchups, I think, are easy to pick, but you never know. It's football. Anybody can win. Joey, on your side, Morningside, who we're going to talk about here in just a little bit, they play host to Ottawa of Arizona. Give me a little bit about that matchup.
Earlier, this was supposed to happen as a regular season game last year. We did not get to see that matchup between the two. Stop me if you've heard this before. Morningside leads the country in total offense per game, passing yards per game, first downs, you name it. Morningside's offense is there. Dolanchek is going to throw the ball left and right, and generally will do that every single opportunity he has. Sims can run the ball as well. It's an incredible offense, but don't be surprised if Ottawa puts points on the board too. Austin McCullough is incredible, leading the charge for the Spirit, and so it's going to be a back and forth thing for a 2 and 15 matchup. Don't believe those numbers right there. Although I am going to take Morningside.
We're very familiar with Ottawa of Arizona.
We
we see them a lot. We talk about them a lot here, being in the Sooner Athletic Conference. Moving on to the next matchup, number 3 Grandview versus number 14 Dickinson State. Corey, walk us through that matchup.
Man, Grandview's defense is just really, really good. And if you're Dickinson State and you want to gain some respect for you and your conference, you need to win today. They've done it before. They've upset Northwestern in the first round a couple of years ago. It's totally doable. I'm going to say defense wins championships. Grandview moves on.
Grandview moves on. That's the saying, the cliche, defense wins championships, even in 2021. Moving on, the fourth matchup, Northwestern, number 4 Northwestern versus number 13 Central Methodist. Joey, we're getting a little closer here in the matchups and the seedings. When does it start to be anybody's game?
Not yet. Even though defense does win championships, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the offense a little bit more. Paxton DeLaurent throws the ball well, 24 touchdown passes for Central Methodist. Great job winning the Heart South. However, Northwestern is what they have been over the last 2 or 3 years. And it doesn't matter if you're talking about Fryer or if you're talking about Poima. They're going to be able to lead this team down the field. Northwestern takes this on.
So not quite yet, Joey says. We'll move on to the next one. And these next three groupings, these next three matchups is where I really start to get fired up. I start to get interested. That's the 6 versus 11 here as we get closer in these matchups. Reinhardt, who, Corey, we know you're high on. Reinhardt versus Kaiser, 6 versus 11. Give me some thoughts on that.
Yeah, and looking at the score bug there, it looks like Reinhardt is actually taking a 6-0 lead. So I was taking Reinhardt anyway on this one. I think Billy Hall has grown a lot as a quarterback over the last 3 years, especially through the air. And I think that Reinhardt defense is going to keep the Seahawks from being Seahawk fast and move on to the next round for the Reinhardt Eagles.
And just so you know, he actually did pick Reinhardt. He didn't see the 6-0 score. We talked to him about 20 minutes ago, and he's like, don't sleep on Reinhardt. Throughout the entire playoffs, don't sleep on Reinhardt. Yeah. So moving on, 7-10. 7 Marion versus number 10 Southwestern. Joey, give us some thoughts on that.
Well, this is where I'm going to go ahead and say that even though, and I think they're actually the 9 seed as well in this one, there's a little bit of shifting that goes on once you get past those top 4 seeds. I think it has to do with the way the NAI sets things up regionally and keeping teams together. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. They didn't ask my opinion, by the way, so that's okay. However, if you're looking at Marion, we know about them. We know about their defense. We know about the mid-states. I want to talk about the KCAC because it's a league that has 2 teams this year. It is about time that the KCAC has 2 teams this year. And you know what? They deserve it. Southwestern comes in, gets a part of a 3-team tie for the top, gets the crown, and they move on. Southwestern's offense is powerful, and I think that the Mountain Builders are going to head and go ahead, maybe buck the trend a little bit. It's not that much of a difference between 7 and 9. I'll take Southwestern.
And then the last matchup here, Concordia, St. Xavier, 1 o'clock. Corey, walk us through that one.
You know, St. Xavier just got off of a really close, emotional game against St. Francis for the Mid-South, if I can get my conferences right, Mid-States, Midwest divisional title. Concordia beats St. Francis of Indiana to get into the playoffs there. I think that Concordia wins this game. It's hard to play 2 emotional games in a row. Concordia has a really good defense and just enough offense to get past the Cougars.
So there we have it, the predictions and the matchups in the NAIA playoffs today. Now, there's some accolades for some of these teams that are in the playoffs, those top 16. Now, you have your usual suspects, right? Your Lindsey Wilsons, your Morningsides, your Grandviews. But there's a first-timer here in the playoffs. Central Methodist of Missouri, we talked about them already. They're the 13th seed, reaching the playoffs for the first time in program history. Joey, what does that mean to a program to be able to make the playoffs for the first time ever, regardless of the outcome of today's game?
It really is big. I mean, you're getting past some of these incredible teams like Baker and Benedictine that you've been going up against for years and years. And whether or not they're having up years or down years, the Eagles took care of business. They did what they needed to in the Heart. They make it to the playoffs. It's great for recruiting. It's always something that you can hang your hat on. And the fan base really has something to be excited about. And, you know, when you have a fan base that will travel like they can, then this is a big deal.
And we have the first-timer, but we've also got some teams making their way back into the playoff chase. Number 9, Southwestern, is in the playoffs for the first time since 1999. Has been quite a gap for them. And then, of course, Montana Western, after 19 years, 2002 was the last time that they made the playoffs. So we always talk about, you know, the top dogs. But it's nice to see it mixed up a little bit. It's definitely nice. It's definitely nice. Corey, Joey, thank you so much for meeting with us today. We're going to go ahead and get our choices, not just for this week's, our predictions for this week's games. We're going to talk about the champion, the big dog, the winner of it all. I'm going to go first because I know that we have some conversation to be had about who we think is winning. I'm going with the number 2 overall seed, Morningside. Just a powerful offense. I think they are the number 1 team. They may not be the number 1 seed overall, but I think they're the best team in the country. I'm picking Morningside. Corey, I want to hear from you. Who do you think's taking the championship this year?
I'm going to go with Morningside. You know, they know Northwestern. They know not to sleep on Northwestern after last year. And they've beaten a good defensive Grandview team before. I'm going to go with Morningside to win the ship again this year. It's just going to be the question of who's on the other side of that matchup that's going to give them a run for their money.
Joey, how about you, sir? Who do you have winning the whole thing?
Well, I want to be that guy, but I'm going to say Morningside anyway. I think the offense is just too powerful, and I think Northwestern did a fantastic job last year. Koima and company taking Morningside out of the championship picture leads way for Lindsey Wilson. This is not to take anything away from Lindsey Wilson at all, and it could wind up being Lindsey Wilson and Morningside when it all comes down to it. Dalenchek has everything in place. He has the keys around him with Sims and more. Jurgensmeyer, you name it. They've got the offensive pieces in place, and I want to see. I believe Morningside will do it.
Well, Tim, the big brains have all picked Morningside. Can you make it a clean sweep? Who do you got?
You know, I've been the combo breaker all year. I've been throwing upset haymakers, but it's not an upset. Lindsey Wilson ran the table with ease this year. Their closest win all year long was 11 points. Sometimes I get into the weeds with stats. I get on page 27 of a stats thing looking for the hidden, deciphering of how to decipher a team. All you got to do is look at their schedule. It looks like a 1919 Georgia Tech team. They're scoring 75 a game, shutting teams out left and right. Now, you got 4 of the toughest games of your life coming up. But I'm going to go with the 1 seed. I'm going to go with Lindsey Wilson and say it probably does come down to that Lindsey Wilson Morningside game, and I think they'll have the edge.
It very well could. We're excited. This is the best time of year when it comes to football. You got playoffs, you got bowl games. A little bit earlier than you used to when you're talking about some other organizations, but it's just that time of year. We're mid-November. Awesome. The weather is perfect. It's just a great time for football. Corey, Joey, thank you so much for your input as always. It's been a great season talking to you both. Corey Thorpe with NAIA Ball, Joey McWilliams with MidwestSports.net. Great people to know. If you haven't already, follow them on Twitter. Go give their websites a find, and it just soak in the knowledge. That's what we've done all season long. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the breakdown of the matchup today between Sterling College and the SAGU Lions right here on the SAGU Sports Network.
At AGCU, we are committed to forging relationships centered around faith and finance. Our purpose is to provide financial solutions to help you succeed while we tithe 10% of our annual earnings to ministry and community organizations.
Your mercy's never ending, your kindness never fading. Jesus, you're always with me. You're always with me.
Welcome back to the Victory Bowl presented to you by the SAGU Sports Network. Now, today, the Victory Bowl, NCCAA Victory Bowl here in 2021. Tim, we talk about NAIA a lot here on the SAGU Sports Network because that's what we play under. Now, the NCCAA is a little different, and tell us real quickly what the NCCAA is.
Yeah, well, the NCCAA is an association of Christ-centered universities that covers every single level of collegiate sports. NCAA D1 through 3, NAIA
yep.
D1. So you get a real conglomeration of teams in here.
Yep.
A lot of great matchups between teams who would never play each other. It's schools who, have a huge focus on biblical education, on just, a Christian mindset within their schools. You see the hashtag here, obviously be using that today when you're tweeting about us, hashtag play for him. But it's a very cool organization to be a part of because it gives you these matchups that you would never see otherwise.
Exactly. And take nothing away from NAIA, NCCAA. One is not above the other. They are dual affiliates. Some schools fall under both umbrellas. And a lot of times, we were talking pregame, not just football, but we watched basketball, we've watched volleyball. The tournaments that happen between the NAIA and NCCAA, it feels like any of those teams can beat any of the other ones in terms of what the divisions are. So exciting game today. It's going to be a team that we don't necessarily see. This is the Victory Bowl here, brought to you by the NCCAA, dates back to 1997. This is SAGU's third appearance. They're going for their second win in the Victory Bowl, and this is Sterling College's first appearance in the Victory Bowl. So it's going to be a very, very exciting game today. It's a bowl game. Like you said, it's hardware season.
About to say, that's what it comes down to. When you start the year off, you want to get wins, you want to get above 500, you want to do something, but anytime there's something you can hang up in your gym that's sitting there on the sideline, a trophy, anything, it just makes the game that much bigger. And this has stakes outside even this game we'll talk about a little bit later. Some interesting things when it comes to conferences and things like that. So we'll get into all that here in just a moment.
It's exciting. I've been all over Twitter of all the players here for SAGU, and the constant theme of those players is it's ring season. Yep. They want this ring. They want the hardware, and it's going to be an exciting watch. Now, we are mid-November. It's a little bit chillier today, but we're like 600 feet up here. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Will Boone, for what it feels like down on the field for our players. Will, down to you.
Thanks, Adam. One of the mottos of the NCCAA is ring chasing, and that's exactly the goal for these two teams here today. Victory Bowl champions. They are here to strap up one more time to play one last game here at the end of their season. As they get loose here on the field, you can feel the anticipation in the air. Speaking of the air, the weather in Waxahachie this week has been really unpredictable, ranging all the way from the 80s all the way down to the 30s. And we're expecting more of that today. This morning it was in the high 40s, and it'll warm up to about the mid-70s here during this game. That's what I like to call football weather. It is a little colder here, but I know for a fact once these teams start flying around on this field, they will warm up. That's all for down here on the field. Back to you, Adam.
You, Will. He put it perfectly. It's football weather.
What isn't football weather, though? We've played games at 105 this year. We've had games before in the 20s. It's all football weather. In Texas, it's all got to be football weather.
You got to prepare for anything. You said 80s this past week down to the 30s. It's whiplash which way you're going.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's talk about these two teams and the seasons that they have before we get into the breakdown of the actual game that's coming today. Let's start with Sterling.
Yep.
Us here, we're not necessarily familiar with Sterling. It's the first time these teams will be playing. It's really one of those unique matchups that you see here because of the NCCAA and the Victory Bowl. Tim, walk us through Sterling's season and what they accomplished this year.
It's been an amazing season for them. They were 1-9 last year. And of course, last year was complicated for everybody, but they were 1-9. They have had an amazing rebound year, going 6-5 in just a gauntlet of a conference. That KCAC, as we were talking about with Joey and Corey a moment ago. 3 teams ranked in the top 25, 2 teams in the playoffs today, and Sterling was in there holding their own every single week. They opened the year up going 2-0, lost to the runner-up Kansas Wesleyan, who's in the playoffs right now. Then they had a barely lost by 3 to Avila. They closed off their home stretch with a win against Ottawa, Kansas at home, not Ottawa, Arizona. Don't get confused with what we're used to. Then lost last week to McPherson to close their season out, but did enough to stay afloat in that very challenging conference. A conference that made a boast earlier this year that they think they are the best conference in the NAIA. They've got 2 teams in the playoffs that can go prove that, and they've got a team in the Victory Bowl today. If they can get a Victory Bowl win and a couple of playoff wins, that boast won't sound unrealistic at all. That'll sound very, very right.
And when you say NAIA, you know, we covered schools from Oklahoma to Arkansas to Texas. We're not just talking about the South. The NAIA is the entire country. Oh, yeah. We're talking East, West, North, South, whatever. So they think they're the best team in the country. Not just, NAIA is the whole country. Yeah. You're not talking the South. So we're going to talk to the man who's in charge of Sterling College, Chase Hansen, who is live with our sideline reporter, Will Boone. Will, down to you.
Thanks, Adam. Coach Hansen, last season was unprecedented, and you had to rely on a lot of young guys to get through the season. Now, a year later, here you are at your first Victory Bowl. How do you think the experience of those young guys last year has powered your team to today's game?
Yeah, I mean, last year was no doubt a different year. We played 4 games in the fall, and we never played in back-to-back weeks, which was, just unheard of. And then 5 games in the spring, and we decided to have some surgeries and do some things so that those injuries didn't affect this season. And I think it's made us mentally tough. It's made us our ability to go through adverse situations is better because of it. And then the game experience that those freshmen got last year, you're seeing it this year with how excellent they've been playing.
SAGU and Sterling have never met before, so there is a lot of unfamiliarity on this field. What's the game plan today, and what are you expecting from the Lions, and how are you going to come out with a victory today?
Well, yeah, no, I've actually played here. I played at Bethel College, and in 2005 we came down and played SAGU, so I was very familiar with the situation playing here at Lumpkin. And SAGU's got a great team. They play in a good conference, so we're just really excited to prove ourselves against non-conference opponents. It's fun playing against the KCAC every single year, but then to test your will against non-conference opponents is great. They got a great team, and we're really excited to show what we got as well.
Thanks, Coach, and good luck to you. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you, Will. Thank you, Coach Hansen. So let's talk about the opposing team, the home team, the Waxahachie zone, the SAGU Lions. You mentioned Sterling going 1-9 last year. SAGU also is on the upswing. They went 0-10 2 years ago. And of course, last year is an anomaly. It's just a weird season, split half into the fall, half into the spring, so it was crazy. But both of these teams are definitely on the rise. They returned all 22 starters from 2020 to this season. 2020, of course, was a better year, obviously, than 0-10. So to bring those guys back, that solid group, is definitely what you want to be looking at. They enter today's game 8-3. On the season. They have a chance with a win today in the Victory Bowl to hit their 9th win of the season, which would be the most wins in a single season of all time here for the SAGU football program. So it's nothing short to say that this could be the best season in SAGU history. Mm-hmm. So we're looking forward to see what happens with the matchup of today's game. They opened up against Louisiana College, started off 1-0. Then they lost to Ottawa of Arizona, who's in the playoffs. Quality loss. It was a close game. We were here. We got to call that game. They played tough with one of the best teams in the country. And then they go back again and they lose against a Division III team, Millsaps. Tough game. It's just, I'm sorry, it was a win. I got it backwards. I'm sorry. They won against Millsaps, who is a D3 team. Good win, got back on track, but this season just felt like win, loss. That's what it was. It was just, they were destined for a 500 record. And then all of a sudden, 50-6 win over Arkansas Baptist. They lose to Texas Wesleyan in a close game, who we know Texas Wesleyan right up the road. They know us very well. Big rivalry. They breed championships. You've said it before in every sport. Ping pong, football, basketball, whatever you want to say. They have an incredible sports program. But after that Texas Wesleyan loss, SAGU just sneakily 5 games in a row they win, especially with a big upset last week against number 25 ranked Langston, who now fell below SAGU in the soon after the conference. And this was a season where we thought Langston was back. They had some big wins. They beat Arizona Christian. They were looking at like they were going to win the conference at that point, and then a couple of bad losses, and then the knife in the wound. They twisted the knife last week against Langston with that win up in Oklahoma on the road. So it was a tough win.
A game that Langston had everything to play for, and SAGU just dominated start to finish. Probably one of the best games we've seen them play. Definitely the best game we've seen them play all year, but definitely in a couple of years.
It was just a huge victory for SAGU against Langston. Plus, it's always nice to beat Langston. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen SAGU get beat by Langston many times. So it's always nice to walk away with a victory against Langston. All due respect to the other Lions, Langston. But let's hear from the man in charge of the SAGU Lions, Coach Ryan Smith, who is live with our sideline reporter Will Boone. Will, down to you.
Thanks, Adam. Coach, this team has had one of the best seasons in school history. What does it mean for you and for this team to be here competing for a Victory Bowl championship?
Personally, it's probably a lot more than I can describe in this interview here. From a standpoint for our team, it's just us coming full circle and us buying into the vision that we had of what we're trying to do with building a program. We're not there, and the big thing we tell our guys, be process driven. That never ends. So it won't end today. And what we've been really preaching our guys, this is just a ball game. We can view all the accolades before and after, but it's still 1st and 10. Still got to play great special teams, got to execute on offense and play sound defense. So it's just a ball game for us from that standpoint, but our guys are excited and we're thankful to still be playing football.
Your team is riding into this game on a scorching 5-game win streak, and every aspect of your team is firing on all cylinders. What's it going to take for your guys to continue that and finish this season strong?
I think finish is the word. You know, we push our guys on a word of the week, and finish has kind of been it. And we just talked about the element. Our scripture for our entire program is 2 Corinthians, and it says, let us finish with the eagerness in which we started. So we're trying to finish the work, and that's the whole point of the element of finishing what we started, playing with that same enthusiasm, that same juice, and doing what we do and just finish.
Thanks, Coach, and good luck to you today. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you, Will. Thank you, Coach Smith. Let's talk about, we heard from the man in charge. Let's talk about the men he's going to be leading on the field today in the NCCAA 2021 Victory Bowl. We're going to start with SAGU. If you're new to the program, if you're not new to the program, get used to these names because they're going to be ones we're going to be calling a lot today. Let's start with the quarterback. You don't know me. I'm a quarterback guy. I love the position. I will always talk about it any chance I can get, and SAGU's got a good one in Jordan Barlow. 23 passing touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Very efficient. 9 rushing touchdowns. He's got 32 scores on the season from the quarterback position. Insane. One of the best seasons we've seen here at SAGU. And efficient. Efficient was the name of his game this year. Not only was he very good passing the ball, but he willed his team to comebacks. He willed his team to victories. He's the kind of guy you want to play for. He's the kind of guy you want under center. The next one, Keaton Dudek. What can we say? One of the top 3 rushing leaders in the country has been absolutely money all season. I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about money. You write a check, you take it to the bank, and it's never bouncing on you type of money for Keaton Dudek. The best running back that we have seen come through this program had 24 total touchdowns, 21 rushing touchdowns. So almost 30 rushing touchdowns between the running back and quarterback position combined. A lot of scoring from those 2 positions, those 2 players. He shouldered the offense and sealed a big win last week against Langston with a 60-yard touchdown run. Just broke through the line and sealed the win. It just nail in the coffin type of thing. Then let's move to the other side of the ball. Keandre Belcher. Now, you're going to hear his name a lot today because he's going to be eating up 2 to 3 blocks at a time. That man is a force to be reckoned with right in the middle of that defensive line. He is the heart of the defense, and it is in the middle of seemingly every play, whether it's rushing the quarterback, stuffing the run, whatever you want to talk about. Keep an eye on Big 99 because we're going to talk about him a lot today. Tim, let's talk about Sterling College. What do they got going on?
Well, leading the way, quarterback Ethan Richardson. Just everything you want out of a quarterback. Just that blue chip guy. 2,500 passing yards on the year. A 24 touchdown to 11 interception ratio. Exactly where we want him to be. Has just been that solid, dependable guy. Doesn't make too many mistakes. Gets your team where you need to be to get a win. Second, wide receiver Chance Whitehead. He is one of the most targeted wide receivers in the entire NAIA with 74 catches. That's number 7 overall. 981 yards. So he'll pass 1,000 yards today, almost certainly, with 8 touchdowns as well. So he has been Richardson's primary target. And then some. And then lastly, I always try to pick one guy that maybe doesn't stick out to you immediately, but could change the game. Yep. Defensive back George Powell Jr. He's actually number 13 in the NAIA with 5 interceptions. And a day like today, if you can steal a possession, get an interception or 2, that's what you're going to need to pull off a big win here in Waxahachie.
It's going to be an exciting game to watch today between these 2 teams. Before we get to what the teams have to do as a whole, let's take a look into some volleyball playoffs. And you recognize there, you see the SAGU Lady Lions with Coach Hank Moore on the sideline, led his team to one of their best, if not their best, single-season performance. Conference champions, the Sooner Athletic Conference champions. Tim, walk us through some of the what we're looking at. Currently down 1-0.
Down 1-1 up there and against Central Methodist. But this is the first ever trip to the NAIA National Championship for the volleyball team, a team that's been so consistently good. It's going to take a bit of a rally today, it looks like, to keep their season alive, but what a run they had last week in the Sooner Athletic Conference tournament to take home that banner. And so now it'll come to the SAGU football Lions to see if it can be 2 banners in 2 weeks.
It'll be awesome. That'd be awesome. Let's go to some of the keys of the game here for the SAGU Lions. The first one is don't get too crazy too early. This is a team you've never played before. They're not familiar with you. They're not one of your conference opponents that you play every year. Now, a lot of times you see it go one of either ways. You get conservative to start and you feel kind of your opponent out, or you go crazy. You bring out the trick plays. I'm an advocate of just trying to sit back, wait and see, bide your time, see what they're going to do, but we'll see. That's what I'm going to say first, but we'll see what they decide to do. The second is keep the flags off the field. Last week against Langston, there was a couple of unneeded flags on the field that could have cost you big points in that upset victory against Langston. try to keep your head. It's the last game of the year. You want to try to be as disciplined as possible. And then the last point, which kind of we'll talk about yours here in a second as well, keep them behind the sticks. Keep Sterling College behind the sticks. Tackles for loss, no gains. Make it 2nd and 9, 3rd and 7. Keep them at 3rd and long because Sterling is very, very good at converting on 3rd down. Tim, to you.
That's key one. The Warriors this year are number 7 in the NAIA on 3rd down conversion rate at 50%. That's an absurdly high 3rd down conversion rate. Anything in the 40s usually you're okay with. The fact that it's a coin flip to keep a drive alive is amazing. So again, stay ahead of those. If you can avoid them, you can. Second, finish drives off. Another top 10 stat. They are number 9 in the NAIA with a 74% touchdown rate inside the red zone. I love that metric of how you finish a drive. However, they only had 79% scoring overall, so it's pretty much touchdown or bust inside the red zone.
Right.
If you're getting down the field, you've got to finish with touchdowns. Last but not least, matter of fact, probably the most important, I say attack the run today. SAGU has one of the best rushing offenses in the entire NAIA. Just been rocking on all cylinders with Barlow, with Dudek, with the backups behind him.
Yep.
I say attack the run. Don't wait for it to come to you. Coach Hansen, dial up some run blitzes, get into the backfield, disrupt Dudek before you can get that momentum, and try to keep that Lions rushing attack in check.
It is going to be a very, very exciting matchup here today in the 2021 NCCAA Victory Bowl, brought to you by the SAGU Sports Network. We are going to go live to the sideline for the national anthem, opening prayer, and pregame message, and coin flip. Don't go anywhere. Sterling College, SAGU Lions, coming your way right here on the SAGU Sports Network.
Welcome to London Stadium in Waxahachie, Texas for the 2021 NCCAA Victory Bowl between the SAGU Lions of Waxahachie, Texas and the Sterling College Warriors of Sterling, Kansas. At this time, we ask everyone to please stand and remove your hat as we honor God in prayer. Then please remain standing and face the flag as we honor our nation with the singing of the national anthem of the United States of America, performed by SAGU Assistant Athletic Trainer Danielle Leonard. Heavenly Father, we thank you for a wonderful day that you have given to us. Lord, we thank you for everything that you do in our lives. We pray for all the teams, the players, the officials, that you protect them from all injury and all harm. Lord, we pray that win or lose, we honor you in everything that we do. Lord, we pray that you also be with us and protect us on our travels back home as well. We love you. We thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets break clear, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The officials for the Victory Bowl: referee Kerry Moore, center judge Mir Berkhadley, line judge Britt Van Zant, side judge Royce Smith, umpire Mike Perry, head lineman Dustin Farmer, field judge Corey Dixon, and back judge Trey Peters.
SAGU won the toss, elect to receive. Guys, shake hands. Have a great game.
Captains for this game for the Sterling Warriors, number 8, Matthew Stifler. Number 15, Ethan Richardson. Number 53, Joseph Bird. And number 84, Jansen Robinson. Captains for the SAGU Lions, number 8, Jordan Barlow. Number 22, Blaine Rowe. Number 40, Seth Green. Number 79, Donald Kitchen.
There we have it. SAGU will start out with possession here. First in the 2021 NCCAA Victory Bowl, brought to you by the SAGU Sports Network. If you did not hear, the captains for both teams today, starting with the Sterling College Warriors, Braden Locke, Ethan Richardson, Nate Roseborough, and Jalen Burns. For SAGU, Jordan Barlow, Zach Nelson, Blaine Rowe, and Donald Kinchin. The starters out there, or the captains rather, out there for both of these respective teams. As we get ready, the wind is slight, moving from the right to the left side of your screen. Kicking off for the Warriors is Samuel Paz Perez. Correction, it is Jair Torres. And the kick is off, and it's a short one. It's going to be fielded inside the 15, looking for some running room. Bouncing it to the outside, breaks a tackle, throws a stiff arm, gets brought down as Jalen Moss gets it up just shy of the 40-yard line. So the SAGU Lions offense will have very good field position here on their first drive.
Great place for Jordan Barlow and this high-powered offense to start. And they have just been on fire these last 5 games as they've closed the season on a 5-game winning streak, scoring in every which way. And it's been that, pick your poison, stop the run too much. And you got a captain back there with Jordan Barlow with a bunch of really good receivers. He has some talent out there to target throughout this game.
And that is even with the absence of his best deep threat, Jamal Long. They did not miss a beat. Here's the first play. He's going to hand it off to Dudek. Dudek looking for some running room, trying to bounce to the outside, but a good job by Sterling College to stretch that out and bring him down for a loss.
Yeah, just kept on running to the outside. Hunter Pullen's going to be the one that finally gets the tackle and just stretching the play out. No room, never a gap for Dudek to go through, and he is the kind that if he sees the gap, he will hit it. That's a very strong play to open up the game.
Loss of 2 makes it 2nd and 12. SAGU waits for the play coming from their sideline. Barlow comes out here in a tight formation. Barlow takes a snap. Little jet touch pass to Zachary Johnson. Zachary Johnson trying to get around the edge. He picks up about 5 there on 2nd and 12. That'll make it 3rd and mid here for the Lions.
Another quick response by these linebackers, really, from the Warriors. Set up kind of in a box set behind the 3-man line, and they quickly get to the left side of the field. A lot of room to run over there, and we know that Johnson has the speed and the agility to make something happen. And very quickly, SAGU wins up in a 3rd and 6.
Call it again, a 6 there on 2nd and 12. 3rd down, Barlow comes out, empty set, receiver stacked at the bottom of the screen, sends Blaine Rowe in motion for 5 wide. He's back to pass, quick hitter to the outside. He's got his man, he's got enough for the first down, and ducks out of bounds. Found the quick hitter to his man, Paul Odidi on the outside, and SAGU moves the chains.
And Odidi has really stepped up in the absence of Jamal Long, 6'5", so he has that height that you're missing with Long. May not have quite the same exact playmaking ability, but he has really filled in those shoes admirably, especially with how good and what a season Jamal Long was having.
He had a big game last week against Langston, was one of the featured receivers. 1st and 10, Barlow will keep it himself, swings it out to Mike Mouton. Mouton heads up field, lowers a shoulder, gets brought down out of bounds. Short gain there on 1st down, called a gain of 4, make it 2nd and 6.
Dexter Walker Jr., the safety, is the one who's going to come over the top. It's kind of a very delayed play action setup right there. Don't know that it really fooled anybody at that point since the play was running to the exact same spot of anything, but it is a decent pickup on 1st down. What you want to do if you're the Lions, just kind of stay one step ahead of the chains.
Call it 2nd and 5, gain of 5 there for Mouton on the reception from Jordan Barlow. Barlow comes out 3 stacked to his left at the top of your screen. 2nd and 5. Barlow takes a snap. He's going to take off himself. Was facing immediate pressure, lowers the shoulder, spins off, and he is just about a yard shy of that first down marker.
It was Hunter Pullen who comes on almost untouched. I believe it's Hunter Pullen here who comes almost untouched on the corner blitz, disrupts what was going to probably be a screen pattern. Yeah, and Barlow does a good job of reacting quickly and turning what could have been a completely busted play or sack into a gain of 4 to bring up a 3rd and short where SAGU will go 5 wide.
5 wide here on 3rd and 1. Barlow, we've seen him take it himself in these situations on design quarterback runs. He calls Dudek back into the backfield here. On 3rd and 1, here's Barlow. Takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Dudek. Dudek up the middle has room. He's going to move the chains and give SAGU their 2nd first down of the drive.
That's an area the Lions, surprisingly enough, have struggled at times this year, is these short down situations. With how good the offensive line and it's how good the running back has been, it's been surprising how many times those have been stuffed. But right there, that was an easy win up front. The gap was created, and Dudek easily picks up that first down, and SAGU is moving very effectively thus far down to the 35-yard line here on this first drive.
Coach Smith has raved about his offensive line this season and how good they've been, not only in the running game, but they've kept Jordan Barlow upright for the most part this season. He swings it out quick to his left, tries to make a man miss, but gets brought down. That was Dudek out in the flat. He picks up, we'll call it 5 there on first down.
And Barlow again facing some pressure on that run to start off with. He's able to, doesn't rush the pass though. He's able to still set his feet, realizes he has the time, knows he has Dudek underneath, who's been a safety valve as well for Barlow. He hasn't just been running the ball, he's been catching it as well.
2nd and 5 from the 30. Here's Barlow, sends Dudek in motion. Empty backfield again here for Barlow. He pumps, steps up. He's got time to throw. He lets it go to the sideline. There's Dudek, his safety blanket. He's going to cut it up inside the 20. Down past the 15, goes out of bounds. SAGU moves the chains again, and they will set up in here in the red zone here in Sterling College territory.
And this is read progression. Barlow's going to go to Dudek to start off with the play, but it was very well blanketed, so he adjusts back to the middle of the field, gets the defense to shift back in that direction, and that gives Dudek time to get further down the field, and he was wide open for a big gain down to the 14-yard line. Just really veteran heads-up play there from Barlow. I think Dudek might have been the target the whole time, but he saw that he didn't have the running room he wanted, looked the defense back off, and then went back to him.
1st and 10, Barlow will hand it off to Dudek on the outside handoff, but that's a good job by the Warriors defense. They sniffed that out for no gain.
And that's how you got to do it, is get into the backfield quickly and don't let Dudek get any of that momentum, as it's Salakelu who's going to make the tackle for maybe a gain of 1, of half a yard or so.
2nd and 9.
Definitely bend, don't break time now for the Warriors. As SAGU did win the toss and elected to receive, and there's been no strategy for that for the Lions all year long. It's been game to game, whether they win the toss, whether they defer or receive. However Coach Smith is feeling is how he does it that day.
Barlow will hand it off to Dudek, and he is it immediately right at that line of scrimmage. They'll bring him down for, they're going to say no gain. The initial contact that time made by Diego Moran.
And if it wasn't Diego Moran making the tackle, there were 4 more white shirts right there, right at the line, winning that battle up front, and put SAGU into a 3rd and long at the 13-yard line, a drive which has been moving very effectively up until these last 2 plays.
They have converted 1 3rd down here so far today. They've converted 2 third downs rather. 3rd and 1 and then 3rd and 3. Barlow sends a man in motion. He's going to hand it off to Dudek here on 3rd down. Dudek up the middle. He's got just shy of that first down marker. It's going to be about 2 yards short. That'll make it 4th and 2. And with no hesitation, Coach Smith will send out the field goal unit, and he does have a good one in place kicker, Kieran Woodley.
And that was a play that perhaps you draw out trying to catch the Warriors off guard, thinking it's going to be a pass in a 3rd and 9 situation where you know Dudek can pick it up. And also, if you picked up another yard, I think you might have gone for it. The fact it was 4th and 3 is going to make them kick this field goal. If it had been 4th and 2 or less, you're probably going for it in this situation.
Low snap, the hold is down. The kick is up from Woodley, and it is through the uprights and good. SAGU will go up 3-0 on a 7-minute, 6-second drive. That's what you like to see. A long drive down the field result in points. for SAGU on their first drive of the day.
Yeah, burn away almost the entire half the first quarter. Obviously, you always want to come away with a touchdown when you get down in that situation, but after those 2 run plays got sniffed out, you had to settle for the field goal. But everything that SAGU wants to do was working on that drive. You were finding a little bit of lanes for your running back, didn't break anything big. Barlow's doing a great job of finding his receivers to the corner of the field. Really, that's been his main target all year long, is going corner to corner, side to side. And you walk away with 3 points. For the Warriors, though, after that drive was rolling, they do a good job inside the red zone, holding strong, making those 2 big stops, and keeping Dudek from breaking anything big on third down. And now they'll get the ball for the first time today, trailing only 3-0.
Kieran Woodley on to kick off here for the Lions. We will see quarterback Ethan Richardson here in just a moment. The leader of this Warriors offense, a short kick into the wind, fielded at about the 20, trying to make some men miss, and he's going to get brought down just short of the 35-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 34. So good field position here for the Warriors to start their first drive of the day.
So here will come quarterback Ethan Richardson. He is the KCAC Dr. Ted Kessinger Champion of Character of the Year, as well as an honorable mention on the all-conference team. And we'll be talking about a lot of their players who've been named to that team this year. And when you look at that conference, how stacked it is, getting your name, even in the honorable mention category, especially some of these first and second team guys, that's how you know you've had a great year with how stacked the KCAC is.
A lot of talent in that conference for sure. 1st and 10 here for the Warriors. Richardson will hand it off up the middle. It is snuffed out immediately by Keandre Belcher. Drake Rodriguez were both there on the initial stop.
It's going to be Belcher, like I said, Belcher and Rodriguez. You can't move them. You cannot move them. Run was by Micah Snoddy for a gain of 1 on first down.
2nd and 9 here for Richardson. 1 man in the backfield. He is back to pass. He pumps, looks out to his right, finds his man in the flat, and gets swung down out of bounds. That's a really good tackle on the outside by Kevion Davis. Kevion Davis on the outside is able to keep that gain to just 2, which is a good job. That's a really good open field tackle.
Yep, Chance Whitehead was having to turn around, run back to that pass. As it looked like they wanted to go to the left side of the field, but the Lions had it covered. And so another gain of just about 1 yard will put them in a 3rd and 8, which is where you said the SAGU Lions want to keep them in this game, in those 3rd and long situations, and try to get this high-powered 3rd down offense off the field.
3rd and 8. Here's Richardson looking around. He is back to pass. Has a clean pocket, steps up, looking across the middle, and it is broken up by Davis. Back to back. Good plays by Kevion Davis. Begging for a pass interference call was receiver Chance Whitehead. You talked about how much he is targeted, and he thought there was a little bit of contact there while the ball was in the air, but no flag on the play.
Yeah. Good pocket for the quarterback to throw. And there was some contact. Hard to tell on that angle exactly how early it came, if it was interference or not. There was contact over the middle, but not deemed enough by the officials to throw the flag. And so it will be a 3 and out to start the game, barring the punt. We've actually seen a number of punts this year.
Timeout.
Turned down.
Sterling
College has used timeout. There's a number of punts that were supposed to be punts that ended up becoming first downs off of roughing or or running into the punter penalty. So I never want to too early say, 3 and out, the drive is over.
We have seen that maybe a little bit more than you would like to see in any of these games.
SAGU has not shied away from being aggressive on punt rushing, punt block situations. That's a double-edged sword. Sometimes you get the game-changing play, and sometimes you keep a drive alive that otherwise should be, and by all accounts, is over. So not coming back out will be Preston Patton, who, as I mentioned, first team all-conference this year, first team all-conference punter in the Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference, standing at his own 23-yard line. Wind at his back.
It is a high end-over-end punt. And it's going to take a really good Warriors bounce, a really good Warriors bounce. That is going to be down right at the 1 yard line. What a punt there.
You can see what got him the votes for first team all conference. amazing hang time, and then sometimes you just got to get the blessing of the roll. And that thing rolled around 23 yards. We'll see where it initially lands here. It is going to land right at the 26-yard line and rolls another good 24 yards down to the 2.
Mark that as a 62-yard punt for Patton, and that's how you want to get started in the special teams game if you're the Warriors. So SAGU's got their work cut out for them here. You know, Tim, I talk about being a quarterback guy, but there are a few things I like seeing more than really good special teams plays, and that's a really good punt by Patton.
It is the darts of football. It may not be the guy who's out there, you know, winning all the accolades, but it's that finesse. It's that skill.
They wanted a free play, did Barlow. They jumped off sides, did the Warriors. So SAGU's going to get a free 5 yards here. That's a good hard count. You're backed up on your 2-yard line.
Offense. Have this to go.
They called a back. Oh, wow. I thought that Sterling College came across, but they actually got called a false start. I did not see the movement. But that's going to take them back to the 1-yard line.
So it looked like SAGU was going to get a little bit of breathing room. Instead, they lost whatever breathing room they had. They are at the 1-yard line, 1st and 11.
Sends his man in motion. That's Javante Harper. Barlow, quick hitter to the outside. Looking to just get some yardage here. He's going to get up over the 5-yard line. Give them some breathing room. That was Zachary Johnson on the reception.
Just quick screen. Lays enough of a block to give him the room to operate. And it will be a gain of, call it 5 yards. Bring up 2nd and 6. Yeah, a little bit of room to operate now. Anytime you have that ball in the end zone, you're throwing a pass where your receiver's catching into the end zone.
Yeah.
That is danger area in so many ways.
But a good job by Johnson and good blocking up front to get a little bit of breathing room. Here's 2nd and 6. Barlow will hand it off to Dudek. Dudek gets hit immediately and then looks like there was a face mask, but no flag comes out. He's going to end up getting some solid yardage there considering he was stopped for no gain. He bounced it back outside off the tackle, and he picked up 5. It's going to make it 3rd and 1.
Coben Honey is going to come in, and look at this block from Jordan Barlow. Just clearing
in the middle of it all.
We have said all year long, sometimes he runs with his shoulder down. He is not a sliding quarterback, and he led with a fullback block there after Dudek stayed alive on Honey's corner blitz. Barlow clearing the way. He just wants to win. That's all he wants to do is win, and he doesn't care what he has to do on the field and how much it may not be quarterback-like. He wants to win.
3rd and 1. Barlow back to pass across the middle. Has his man, Zachariah Johnson. He's going to try to split the defenders. He's going to break a tackle. He's down past the 35 and gets brought down. Or rather, finally gets brought down. Found Zachariah Johnson across the middle. Converts the 1st down and then some. And SAGU will move the chains.
Play action pass. Johnson is so good on these quick slants. Does a great job making a man miss before Honey's going to finally track him down at the 35-yard line. SAGU, big 3rd down conversion. A drive that started at their own 1-yard line. They're now up to the 36.
Zachary Johnson gets the first reception on that drive, and Zachariah Johnson gets the second, converts it for a 1st down. The twin brothers, Zachary and Zachariah Johnson, wearing 9 and 11. 1st and 10 here for SAGU. Barlow, 3 to his left. Going to run the option, fakes the pitch. He's going upfield, tries to make a man miss, cuts and to get brought down for a gain of 4. Make it 2nd and 6.
Does a good job. You got to lock eyes with the defender. Locks eyes, reads his mind essentially, sees which way that he thinks the defender's going to go, fakes the pitch, and then makes it around that corner. Good gain of 4 yards on 1st down, and SAGU is really starting to click now after they were facing some major danger to start this drive.
Barlow 3 wide to his right. He is back to pass. Clean pocket, has forever to throw, gets it across the middle, finds his man, and is going to move the sticks again. Zachariah Johnson, this time number 14 on the reception here for SAGU. That's Keshawn Anderson. Has stepped up big in the absence of Jamal Long. It's been that receiver by committee on the outside, and he has made a name for himself here in the last few games.
And we talk sometimes about coverage sacks, about just how long the coverage can stay there before the quarterback finally goes down. That's an offensive line completion right there. There was nobody open, and they just held on long enough for Anderson to finally split back and get a little bit of room for Barlow to complete it.
Barlow back to pass. Swings it out to the outside, has Keaton Dudek. He's got some room to run out there, some green grass. He's going to fall forward, and he's going to make it 2nd and we'll call it about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards there on the reception from Jordan Barlow.
Barlow scans the field, sees doesn't have anything, and Dudek, that's been the third or fourth time he's gone to him now on those little swing patterns, screen passes, whatever you want to call them. Dudek getting work in early as a receiver.
Second and short here for SAGU, 2nd and 2 to be exact. Barlow has Dudek in the backfield. Quick hitter across the middle, he's got his man, and that's gonna move the chains again. Little RPO action, finds Zachary Johnson for the first down.
Yeah, that's a one-step drop there. Didn't even do the play action, really. Just caught it, didn't take a step. I said one-step drop. He didn't take a step. His feet were still facing forward practically. He saw he had a little bit of room to work with, zipped it in there, and Johnson does a good job of corralling that one in for another first down to the 39-yard line.
Some of the angles that we see Barlow complete these passes, his arm angle is just, he can throw it from any angle. Yeah. It's insane. And there we saw it just kind of planted and zipped it in there to Johnson for the first down. 1st and 10 here for SAGU. They come out here with a bunch formation. Barlow back to pass. Has plenty of time again. He's doing deep across the middle. Has Zachariah Johnson. He's going to go to the 5. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Lions. Zachariah Johnson takes the pass from Barlow. Fights through traffic and ends up in the end zone. And SAGU, pending an extra point, will go up 10-0 here in the Victory Bowl.
And this is going to be one that Johnson wins right at the line. Gets behind the defenders, and then has to muscle his way in, stays on his feet with 3 guys. He wasn't going to dive into the end zone. He was going to make sure he was on both feet. Great win at the gun there for Johnson to get behind everybody.
What a stiff arm by Zachariah. He did not shy away from the contact there. Delivered a really good forearm shiver. Extra point is up, and it is good off the foot of Kieran Woodley. SAGU goes up 10-0. On the touchdown pass, the 99-yard drive by the SAGU Lions to go up 10-0.
And you'll see there just a little bit of a seam that he got through.
Check out the stiff arm.
Yeah. Not even a stiff arm, more of an elbow that he had to throw. SAGU does a good job really of drawing up routes on that play, because you have Zachariah Johnson who's going over the top, but then underneath you had I believe it was Tyson Nanette, who really served as the second guy that's going to get behind guys that forces them to kind of split up. Yeah, it is Tyson Nanette, who does a great job of running the route he needs to run to give Johnson the room he needed to get behind everybody. Big completion, and as you said, a 99-yard drive after the punt pinned him at the 2 and a false start moved him back 1 more yard. Jordan Barlow pretty much all through the air. A couple of runs here and there and a couple of screen patterns to Dudek, but Jordan Barlow just one step at a time methodically marches 99 yards to put SAGU up 10-0 with 1:47 remaining here in the first quarter.
SAGU with 2 very long both yardage and time of possession drives and 2 scoring drives for the Lions. The kickoff is fielded again, this time just shy of the 20. It's bobbled, but it's picked up, and a big hit. He's going to go down shy of the 25-yard line, and that sideline is fired up for some good special teams play. Carter Lincoln flying through the blocks, and a big hit brings down the Warriors' return man.
That's what you want. I mean, that's the most fun thing you can do is play special teams and just rush down the field.
SAGU takes set number 3. The Lady Lions take set number 3. They are fighting. They've got life, down 2-1 against Central Methodist. That's going to be interesting. Coach Moore just does such a good job with that Lady Lions volleyball team. We'll give you guys updates throughout the day.
Yeah, staying alive, keeping their season alive for 1 more set at least.
On first down here, a carry goes for about 1.5 yards there on first down. That was Micah Snoddy on the carry.
And it's a 3-and-out last time for the Warriors, so need to find a little bit of traction, trailing by 10 now. Most importantly, you need to get something just to give your defense a breather. You know, you've had 2 very long tries. You've had to do a lot of running already in this game. At least get this to the end of the first quarter, give them some time to catch their breath, and, of course, ideally go down and get some points.
Empty backfield here for Ethan Richardson. He's going to send a man in motion out to his left side. Back to pass is Richardson. Facing pressure, swings it out to the flat, has his man, but it's dropped on the outside. Targeted number 11, Myreek Goodwin Lagree. on the target, and it just kind of didn't quite get there.
It was a little bit low, but it hit him in the hands. He went down to, get the loaf of bread, as they say, the bread basket, and just couldn't quite corral it in. He did have pressure over the top of 2 SAGU defenders, and that's always tough to mentally think about that when you know you're about to get hit pretty hard. Brings up a 3rd and 8.
SAGU has the chance here, 3rd and 8 again. They faced a 3rd and 8 on the first drive and were unsuccessful. They took a shot deep down the middle of the field. Here's Richardson now on 3rd and long. He's back to pass. He's going to lob it up to the side. One-on-one coverage, turning around, picked off on the outside. Kevion Davis having a game. A flag comes in at the end of the play. I believe this is going to go against SAGU as Davis stood over his opponent, the receiver on the outside, after the interception. And
that's just strong defensive play from Davis, boxing the receiver out, not interfering. He plants in a spot. If anything, he was the one getting interfered with, and I do believe he's going to get whistled for an unsportsmanlike here, unfortunately for the Lions. That'll move them back to their own side of the field. But nonetheless, well, let's see. It looks like the offense for the Warriors has not left the field yet.
Waiting on the official call from our lead official.
Having a little bit of a conference.
It will be most likely against SAGU here. It did come in at the end of the play as SAGU's offense is taking the field.
Pass on the front. Defense. Number 4. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
Wow. So that flag came out extremely late.
Very late flag there by the official. It looked clean to me. That is a difficult pass to defend. The underthrown ball.
What's interesting is he says pass interference number 4.
For SAGU, that would be Jalen Moss, who was not in on that play.
But the receiver was number 4. Chance Whitehead was the receiver.
It's going to be an automatic 1st down here for the Warriors. And a head scratcher of a call there by the official. New set of downs, he's going to hand it off and is met immediately for a short gain. They may give him 2 yards there on 1st down. SAGU doing a very good job right now of shutting down the rushing offense of the Warriors.
And once again, right in the middle of it all, Drake Rodriguez just has a nose for where the play is. So the Warriors have essentially run 3 times now and picked up a total of around 4 yards. You have to start winning some battles up front. You want, in a game like this, you need to establish the run. You need to be able to go 2-dimensional on offense.
2nd and 8 here for Richardson. Sends a man in motion. Back to pass, quick hitter across the middle, incomplete. Could not find his man. That's going to make it 3rd and 8 again. The 3rd and 8 for this Warriors offense.
And that was just the kind of setup you want, really. For when you're trying to get, when you're struggling a little bit early on offense, you want to just get a quick play like that. Catch the defense off guard a little bit. So you like the quick route, the quick pass. Just didn't quite connect with it right there. And as you said, 3 3rd and 8s now for the Warriors. Their second one of this drive after the previous one ended up being picked up because of the pass interference call.
3rd and 8 here for the Warriors. They're going to call a timeout. Sterling College.
Sterling.
Uses
their second timeout of that.
Uses 2 of their 3 timeouts here in the first quarter. You never want to see that if you're a coach or a fan of the Warriors.
Yeah, you don't want to end up in a situation where you might have the ball at the end of the first half and you don't. Now take a look at some of the stats right here. Jordan Barlow, 10 for 10.
Wow, starting out perfect. Wow.
100% completion rating. That's pretty rare to see around here once you get up to 10 passes. 126 yards and a touchdown. Zachariah Johnson, 2 catches for 64 yards. But yeah, you don't want to end up in a situation where you don't have any timeouts left, say at the end of the half. Now, it's much more damaging in the second half than the first. The stakes get much higher in those closing minutes if you're trying to, complete a rally or trying to, keep a drive alive. At the moment, though, the stats tilted heavily for SAGU. 154 total yards to just 6 total yards for the Warriors. Again, that's why maybe you don't hate this timeout call right here, because this is a big 3rd down. You want to pick this up. You need to You need to keep a drive alive at this point in the game and not give the ball back to the Lions, already trailing by 2 scores.
3rd and 8 here for the Warriors. Richardson sends a man in motion. Out to his left side, back to passage. Richardson looking across the middle, has his man. He's got enough for the first down. Makes a man miss, lowers the shoulder. He's in SAGU territory. Found his man across the middle. That is T.C. Smith for the first down for Sterling College.
That is exactly what you needed.
That will be the end of the quarter.
And that will do it for the first quarter of action here in the 2021 NCCAA Victory Bowl here on the SAGU Sports Network. SAGU leading 10-0.
That's exactly what you need right there. A quick crossing pattern. Those are so hard to defend. It's one of those plays that if you run the route right and you throw the ball right, it's practically indefensible. Unless you just absolutely jump the route from the gun. That may be what you have to do right now to kind of spread the SAGU defense out. You know, force them to not be able to commit as easily. Another live look in at Central Methodist, where SAGU, trailing 2-0, pulls off the big 3rd set win and is up early here in the 4th set. That Hank Moore team, they have just shown such resiliency. We've seen them make a couple, I feel like, 2-0 rallies this year to force that 5th set. And there's nothing more exciting than a 5th set in volleyball. When it's that sprint to 15, oh man, that you just spend every single second on the edge of your seat.
I have called many 5th set volleyball games here for the Lady Lions in the past years, and every point, it just feels so important. It's crazy. It's so much fun to call those sets because, again, you only go to 15. Yeah. You don't go to 25 in that 5th set, so it is a lot of fun.
It's the hockey 3-on-3 overtime effect. Like the 5th essentially is the overtime period. The 5th set is almost overtime. So first, Hank Moore trying to get his team to that crucial 5th set in the NAIA National Championship.
1st and 10 after the 3rd and 8 conversion. They go a little bit of a wildcat here. He's going to keep it up the middle with Chance Whitehead, but he's brought down after a gain of 1. And this is a new look that the SAGU defense has seen. We have not seen a wildcat look to this point, here at home at least, for SAGU. That first one there for the Warriors picks up a gain of 1.
Yep, and sometimes you just got to draw up a play that gets the ball into the hands of your playmaker immediately. If you're having problems connecting with Chance Whitehead like you have so far, then just snap the ball straight to him, see what he can do. SAGU defense does a good job, though, of responding and holding him to just a yard, as the rushing attack for the Warriors still has not found any sort of momentum, although they have gotten down to the 41-yard line now after that big 3rd down conversion.
2nd and 9, Whitehead in motion. Back to passes, Richardson. He's going to roll out to his right, facing pressure, and he's just going to get rid of it. We'll see what they decide to do here. It did not get back to the line of scrimmage. SAGU playing like it's a fumble. Incomplete pass. It doesn't look like there's going to be a call for intentional grounding, which is what the SAGU bench and the SAGU defense is pleading for.
Definitely what Coach Smith wanted. And there was not a receiver in the vicinity, and the ball did not get back to the line of scrimmage. And there's the flag finally. And sometimes those take a while. Every official has to be consulted. That is going to be.
We got intentional grounding on number 15. Lost it down. 3rd down.
Ethan Richardson could not get the ball back to the line of scrimmage. He was outside the tackle box, but facing the pressure just kind of had to try to get rid of it, and it did not get back to that original line of scrimmage. Therefore, intentional grounding against Sterling College.
You got to check at least 2 boxes every single time. As long as the receiver being in the vicinity is the most important. Right. If there's no receiver in the vicinity, you have to be outside the pocket, and it has to get back to the line of scrimmage. So he was unable to get either or on that situation. It'll bring up a 3rd and very long, 3rd and 22. Essentially goes in the books as a sack.
Richardson back to pass, 3rd and long, or hands it off here on 3rd and pulls it in and throws it out to the flat there on 3rd and long. He's got a lot of room to run. He's going to have enough for the first down. And down the sideline inside the 10, gets pushed out of bounds. That is worst case scenario if you're a SAGU fan. They pick up a first down on 3rd and 22 with a little quick pass out to the flat. And now they're inside the 10-yard line on a goal-to-go situation.
Jansen Robeson, haven't seen him today yet, but he is first-team all-conference and makes the biggest play of the game for the Warriors thus far on what just seemed like a little bit of, trying to pick up some yards just to maybe make a better punt or, get a better 4th down situation. He breaks it huge there at the line, breaks some tackles down the field, and it is 1st and goal from the 10-yard line.
Sterling College knocking on the door here. Here's Richardson, low snap. Get it across the middle. Has his man into the end zone for the touchdown. That is Chance Whitehead from Ethan Richardson. And Sterling College puts points on the board for the first time today. And they make it here pending the extra point, a 3-point ball game. What a drive there by the Warriors.
Yeah, a drive that seemed dead to rights twice. Once after the interception, and then the other time facing a 3rd and 22. And after that 3rd and 22, 2 quick passes gets them all the way down the field. And yeah, that was a must-have drive for the Warriors, already trailing 10-0. Had to go get some points, and they do make it 10-7.
Samuel Paz Perez knocks it through for the extra point. Makes it 10-7 as Sterling College on the verge of what felt like momentum swinging completely in favor of the SAGU Lions. Facing adversity, they drive down and put points on the board, and we have got a ball game here in the 2021 NCCAA Victory Bowl.
And really great poise by Richardson after taking that really tough, really after throwing in the interception and getting bailed out by the pass interference call. He then gets the intentional grounding penalty, and to rally back to deliver, the one pass that's just get into the hands of your playmaker and let him go get the first down. And then that touchdown pass was a perfectly delivered on a quick slant over the middle.
The veteran leadership by their junior quarterback, Ethan Richardson, showing the poise and the leadership that led him to a very successful season.
And he now has the first points ever scored in the Victory Bowl for Sterling College.
Absolutely.
In their first appearance.
Yep. Into the win, the kickoff will be. It is going to be fielded right about the 20-yard line. Jalen Moss has a chance here, trying to get it around the outside, tries to cut back in and ends up going out of bounds. That is Zachary Johnson correction on the return. And he's going to get the ball to the 40-yard line. So good position here, good field position here for SAGU on about a 20-yard return by Zachary Johnson.
It's just good kick coverage by the Lions. All Johnson had to do was run straight towards the corner. He didn't have to make any moves. From the time he caught it, he had 20 clean yards ahead of him. And so, yeah, for the Lions offense, it's been kind of feast or famine on field position. They've had it at the 40 twice and at the 1 the other time. So
winds picking up here in Waxahachie. It is at the back of the Lions. Barlow on 1st and 10 will hand it off to Dudek. Dudek cuts up the middle, spins off a tackle, and he's got 4 on 1st down, make it 2nd and 6.
Their third drive of the game, the Lions have not quite yet established the dominance that can happen when Keaton Dudek has the ball. It's been pretty much Jordan Barlow through the air entirely. So I won't be surprised if they try to really establish that on this drive. Get the ball in the Dudek's hands. See if the Warriors can struggle with both ends, and then you can have a very successful day on offense.
They will hand it off to Dudek again. Dudek bounces it to the outside, cuts it again. A flag comes in the area of holding. This one looks like it might be coming back here against SAGU.
Yeah, it's the second burst. He's going to make a nice cut right
22.
here. And you'll see it right there, Blaine Rowe.
Repeat second down.
Number 22 is going to get flagged for the hold. And that happens a lot when you have essentially a two-step run. It's not a quick up the middle. He has to go to the outside, do a little stutter step to get around, and you have to hang on way too long on the line. It erases what would have been a first down. Instead, puts SAGU in a 2nd and 15 back at their 35-yard line.
Moving the wrong direction are the Lions here on offense. Like you said, 2nd and 15 here after the holding penalty. Barlow comes out, Dudek in the backfield. 4 wide, sends a man in motion. That is Adrian Rowell. Barlow back to pass, and he loses control of it. That should be a live ball. They're going to call it incomplete. He lost control of the ball, and Sterling College thought it might have been a fumble. That is a scary play if you're a Lions fan.
We'll see here, and yeah, it does look like it goes forward.
Ball going forward, 3rd down.
It was nearly picked off by Salakilu at the 35-yard line. That probably would have been a touchdown going the other way. Is a uncharacteristic error from Barlow. Of that nature, at least, the ball just sort of slipping out of his hands. And for the Lions, even though they're facing a 3rd and 15 right now, they're going to have to wipe their brow and be happy that a more intense disaster didn't occur there.
Absolutely, 3rd and 15. Sterling brings 4. Barlow completes it across him. He checks it down to Dudek. Dudek trying to cut to midfield. He's going to get brought down just past the 45-yard line. Not quite enough for the first down. He's going to be about 3 yards short.
He just goes to his safety valve And it looked like Dudek, if he had made a quick move right there, he could have gotten a little bit closer. I don't think it's going to matter, though. SAGU's offense is staying on the field, even on their own 47-yard line. They are going to go for it here. 4th and 3, up by 3 early in the second quarter, making a statement right here.
Hard count there by Barlow, and Coach Smith calls a timeout. We've seen that happen a lot this year.
Yeah.
Barlow gets the defense to jump off sides.
We'll see it. We'll see if that's all that was trying to go up to the line and get the Warriors to jump across, as Barlow has excelled with those hard counts. Another live look in here at the NAIA National Championship, where SAGU has opened up a large lead now in the 4th set.
Yep.
It looks like a 5th set could be imminent as the Lady Lions try to keep their season going.
Lady Lions right now on the left side of your screen. Looks like they just picked up that 15th point. And that is a big benchmark in any set, that 15th point. More often than not, the first one to 15 pulls out the victory in any given set. Coming back out of the timeout on 4th and 3, SAGU looks like they have the offense still out here on the field.
So they were going for a double dip. They were trying to get the jump, but they will now head back out and go for it regardless. Big decision here. Like I said, you're only up 3. It's very early in the game.
It's a direct snap. Here's Javante Harper. He's going to fall forward for the first down. The direct snap to Javante Harper moves the chains for SAGU, and a gutsy play call there.
You put Harper and Dudek in the backfield. The ball can go to either of them. Dudek splits off to the left immediately. I like the call. I mean, the aggressiveness, you live by it, you die by it, and you live by it right there. I like the timeout to draw up a play like that. There's something very different, not just a draw, not a shotgun draw, not an option play. You put something very different that the Warriors probably haven't. I know we haven't seen it on tape this year, so the Warriors haven't seen it on tape either.
1st and 10, bad snap. Barlow, he's going to end up getting the handoff to Dudek. But the bad snap brought in with one hand by Barlow, kind of blew the play up there, makes it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Barlow had to go at least 3 steps to his right to corral that in. So another time on this drive now that a turnover was very likely. Does a good job of just getting it off to Dudek and salvaging anything out of that play with a gain of 1. There were some problems earlier in this year with the shotgun snap exchange with Barlow. It's been ironed out ever since then, especially during the 5-game win streak. But it pops up again there for the Lions.
3 stacked at the bottom of your screen here for SAGU. 2nd and 9. They gave them a gain of 1 there. Barlow back to pass. Floating in the pocket. He has time down to the outside. He's got his man. He's got enough for the first down. That is Zachariah Johnson having a big game here in the first half with a touchdown reception in there. Moves the chains, and SAGU.
And another here. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. Plenty of time. I mean, you can just count them off. How much time Barlow. I mean, it looked like he went through 3 progressions there. Looking to the left, middle, back to the right, back to the middle, back to the right. Johnson's going to double back, get open. Offensive line has been giving Barlow everything he needs today.
I don't care how good your secondary is, you cannot cover for that long.
No, especially not when you have athletic receivers like the Johnson twins, like Harper, who can cut back to the ball.
Option play, there's a lot of room to run here. He pitches it off to Dudek, and Dudek is going to carry a defender for another yard or 2, pick up 7 there on first down, make it 2nd and 3. That option play was run. There was almost nobody out there to fool.
It almost seemed to freeze Barlow up. He's usually so quick on making those decisions. He kept rolling out and was like, wait, either of us can run for 6 yards. It makes the wise decision to go into to Dudek, who was a little bit further out, to pick up a nice gain of 7 on first down.
2nd and 3 here for SAGU. After converting on 4th down on the direct snap to Javante Harper, they would love to get points here. Here's Barlow. Setting Zachary Johnson in motion. He's going to dump it out to him. That's going to be a rush here for Johnson. Tries to cut it to the outside, cuts it back up inside. He's right at that first down marker. We'll see if they decide to give it to him. It's awfully close.
The left foot is on the verge of the 25. I don't think it's going to be quite enough. And now they will move the chains, as he is barely going to get there, just enough to convert for that first down.
The rush on the backwards pass by Barlow to Zachary Johnson. ends up moving the chains. And SAGU now with possession at the 25-yard line, approaching quickly here to the red zone. Sends Mouton in motion. Barlow back to pass. Steps up, lets it go down the field. Looking for his man in the end zone, and it's incomplete. A good play to stand tough in there by Caleb Lambert.
He's going to be all over Paulo Didi here. And it does just get enough of a hand in there to jar it loose. And Paulo Didi's just going to feel a little bit sick about that one. Anytime it hit your hands, even when you have a defender on you, you want to bring that in. Excellent pass from Barlow.
Yeah, he put that right on the money.
Yeah, put it right where it needed to be. Paulo Didi just unable to pull it in, and it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Barlow hands it off. Dudek bounces it to the outside. Shakes off a tackler, lowers the shoulder, and he's going to pick up 4 there on 2nd down. Makes it 3rd and 6.
Hunter Poland in on another play. He's so quick coming around those corners. You're just going to hang with Dudek the whole way, and is going to be one to kind of get a hold of the hips. Throw him off balance to where the rest of the defense can finish him off. Another big 3rd down here for the Lions. They've converted a 4th down on this drive. Wind is at their back, so field goal wouldn't be too much of a problem from this spot. But you obviously want more, only leading by 3 points.
They gave him 5 on that carry, so it makes it 3rd and 5. Barlow facing 3rd down, takes the snap. He's going to let it go across the middle. He finds Blaine Rowe. Blaine Rowe shakes off a tackler, has enough for the 1st down. Barlow going to the veteran receiver, tight end, senior Blaine Rowe. Moves the chains, and SAGU now officially in the red zone.
Blaine Rowe was blanketed by Pullen there. Barlow had to put that ball perfectly in front of him. Does a good job of hanging on. And we've said a couple times this year, we don't call Blaine Rowe's name as much as we used to. But when we do call his name, it's in big moments like that. A big 3rd down conversion to keep this drive alive. Again, you don't want to kick a field goal here. That just turns a 3-point lead into a 6-point lead. You want to go back and get that 7 points and get back to a 2-score lead if you're the Lions.
Barlow keeps it himself, swings it out to the flat, and it's bobbled and dropped. Had some room to run, did his receiver out there, Mike Mouton. And he's upset with himself. He knows that should have brought that one in. Maybe was thinking about the move after the catch.
And that's when the drop happened. Hits him in the chest and starts making that move to the right. It's understandable in that situation because you have a defender coming very quickly. You're trying to plant your feet, dive past them. Of course you're thinking end zone. You're a wide receiver. Of course you're thinking end zone. Nobody wants to have a 4-yard catch at the 13 or the 11. You want to go in the end zone. But it is a drop pass and brings up a 2nd and 10. SAGU can pick up a 1st down still, down to the 1-yard line. It is not a goal-to-go situation yet.
Barlow here on 2nd down. Back to pass. Looking across the middle, has his man Dudek for a touchdown. SAGU, Jordan Barlow to Keaton Dudek on the old Texas route. Finds his man for the touchdown, and pending the extra point will go back up 10.17-7.
Watch him roll out to his right, weave into the left, cut around, just kind of get the defender's head on a swivel, get him turned around. You know you have the momentum and the speed to get around him. Plenty of room to work with for Barlow to easily toss that in. And a big drive from the Lions will go 60 yards.
High snap. Woodley gets the kick down. That is incredible. That is the most exciting extra point I've ever seen. Oh, my goodness. What a job by Seth Green to get the high snap down. Off the snap by Riggin Basket.
You can see
wow.
You can see the thought process. He goes up, and it's like he looks up at Woodley and says, do we want to run with this? He had enough time to actually, hey, do we want to try some sort of weird trick play here?
Wow.
And I think Woodley was just like, just put it down.
I'm kicking it, put it down.
They're lucky that the Warriors did not bring an intense rush, as you'll see right here, because he had to stand up to get it. Gets it back down. It's an awkward angle, and Woodley is going to be able to do a good job of reacting, and with one step, luckily it's an extra point. Probably not good if it's a field goal on a one-step kick. But that will put the Lions up 17-7 after a 60-yard touchdown drive, with the biggest play being that 4th and 3 right around midfield converted on the direct snap to keep moving. And now 6:41 left in the half.
And they will have to hold the ball here on the kickoff. Isaac Gowdy, we've been seeing him do that a lot here the last couple of weeks.
See the replay. Just kind of watch the thought process of everything here. Ball's going to come in. As the kick
high snap, and he does get it down. Oh, he even got the laces out. The kick is a good one here on the kickoff. It's fielded at the 1 yard line, but he's got some room up the middle here. He's finally brought down past the 30-yard line. So again, decent field position here for Sterling College. That was the most exciting extra point. I'd say most exciting extra point I think I've seen in a long time.
Score updates from around the NAIA playoffs. Morningside has jumped out to a 21-10 lead against the Sooner Athletic Conference champion Ottawa of Arizona. Grandview up 17-0 on Dickinson State, and they're all tied up at 7. Meanwhile, Central Methodist has rallied, a big rally to cut it to 19-18. Kaiser up on Reinhardt, and Concordia up on St. Xavier with no score in the Southwestern Marion game.
Richardson hands it off here on first down. That's going to go for a gain of 2. It fell forward after the initial contact to pick up an extra yard. That was Jelani Copenny.
First time seeing Copenny out on the field. The Warriors trying something a little bit different. They got the touchdown on the last drive, really thanks to a bang-bang 2-play sequence. They've yet to really get a nice established drive. All 3 of SAGU's drives have just been methodical marching drives. If you're the Warriors, you want to duplicate that right here. Really establish your offense, not just on a big play or 2, but establish that you can move all game long.
Low snap by Richardson and kind of threw the timing off on the outside with that out pattern he was trying to complete to his man, Jalen Burns. That's going to bring up another 3rd and 8 here.
About to say,
again.
Deja vu all over again. At least the 4th 3rd and 8 we've seen. The Warriors have converted a couple of them, though, now. One thanks to a penalty, but we have seen them live up to that mark they've had all year long of converting 50% of their 3rd downs. Really an outrageous rate, especially if you're looking at 3rd and longs.
Richardson back to pass. Pocket collapses. He's facing pressure. Down goes Richardson. SAGU gets their first sack of the ball game, and a host of Lion defenders there. You see Rodriguez on the left, and then on the outside, even getting held a little bit, was big number 46, Joseph Chavez, in for the sack, and that brings up 4th down.
Another coverage sack situation. Just nowhere to go with the ball for Richardson. And that SAGU defensive line just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, bullying their way through to drag Richardson down for the big sack, and they will have to punt it away.
They almost get there, but the punt does get off, and it's kind of rolling to the side here. No return capable there for SAGU, but they will take over possession in Warrior territory. Good field position here for the hometown Lions.
Yeah, and especially how they've moved these last 3 drives. That is a dangerous situation now for the Warriors to hand the ball off in their own territory, as Central Methodist has now rallied to retake the lead. When we looked at this game at one point, it was 15-8, so a huge rally for Central Methodist.
That's a big point for SAGU, the Lady Lions. That's a big point.
Jordan Barlow will come back out on the field now, already with 173 passing yards and an 83% completion rating.
It's the best game we've seen by him through the air to this point in the season.
With 5 minutes remaining in the half. Just an outstanding game here so far in the NCCAA Victory Bowl.
He had a really good last home game of the season. There was a little bit of trickery there, a little pass, trying to get some blocking to the outside, throwing stiff arms, and finally getting driven out of bounds with Zachariah Johnson.
That was blown up from the start. A little fortunate touch pass, but really it all ended as soon as Kendrick Bell broke into the backfield.
They're fortunate it was a no gain.
Yeah, the fact that Johnson, even got back to they're going to mark him back about 1 yard total. But the fact that he didn't get thrown for a much bigger loss. Not even really a full yard, more of a quarter yard, really.
Make it 2nd and 10. They're going to call it officially 2nd and 10. And talking about Barlow through the air today, he did end the season, the home season with a 6-touchdown performance. But as far as efficiency goes, he's been very efficient today.
Absolutely.
Barlow back to pass here on 2nd and 10. He's going to step up in the pocket, let it go, and it's going to be an almost intercepted in and out of the hands of Braden Locke, and that should have been going the other way. And he's got to be sick to his stomach that did not end up in an interception.
That's the kind of game-changing play you need. Down 10. As the first real poor decision from Barlow on the run, trying to thread it in between 4 defenders. And that's going to hit Locke right in the hands. And if he had got it, he had no momentum going the other way. It would have been a big return.
SAGU here on a big 3rd and 10. After another defensive stop, a 3-and-out defensive stop, aided by the sack of Joseph Chavez.
It's a gut check time for the Warriors defense at this point.
Sends in man in motion. Here's Barlow back to pass. Swings it out to his man on the outside. He's got enough for the first down. Lowering the shoulder, trying to get some more, but he's got his man on the outside. Kevin Busby, his first action of the Victory Bowl today, results in a first down and a big one there for the Lions.
Busby filling in the role of Dudek right there on that little wheel route. Plenty of room to work with. The Warriors need to start responding to that one because Dudek has been killing them all game on that. And now Busby, the second running back, goes into the game and executes a big one on 3rd and 10. A huge conversion for the Lions down to the 36-yard line. As we're under 4 minutes to play now in the half.
1st and 10 here for Barlow. Takes a snap. He's going to keep it himself. Pitches it out to Busby. Doesn't look like he was maybe expecting it. That's going to go down. Barlow may have had more yards had he kept it himself, but you always have the potential of maybe some more yardage there. I think pick up 2.
I think Barlow had more yards when he pitched it than Busby ended up getting, actually. The ball went back that much further. Gain of, call it about 2.
Makes it 2nd and 8. Approaching the 3-minute mark here in the first half. 3 minutes left to play. By the time they snap this ball, we will be under 3 minutes. 2nd and 10 here for Barlow. 3 to his left, 1 to his right. Has Busby in the backfield.
It's smart for SAGU to slow this down, not give the Warriors much time to end the half.
Barlow back to pass, facing pressure, swings it out to Busby. Off the hands, a rushed throw was out in front of Busby and just falls incomplete, makes it 3rd and 8.
Hunter Poland, he's been coming off that edge all game. It's just a matter of time before he makes a big play. That's a pretty big one right there, though. Forces the ball out of Barlow's hands early to bring up another 3rd and 8. But yeah, Poland just coming with some speed around that left end. And if he keeps doing that, he's going to make something happen. He's going to get a sack. He's going to tip a ball in the air. SAGU needs to start picking him up, maybe leaving a running back in the backfield occasionally to give Barlow that extra second or 2 he needs for a big play.
3rd and 8, double stack here for Barlow. Sterling brings 5. Barlow swings it out to Busby. Busby's got a lot of room in front of him. Hurdles a man. He ends up fumbling, and it's recovered inbounds by the Warriors. A huge turnover there for Sterling College. That SAGU had the first down on the incredible hurdle by Busby, but on the way down, he ends up fumbling and giving the ball right back to Sterling College.
Goes up for the hurdle and coming in to punch it out, number 6, Diego Moran. And falling on it, number 23, Caleb Lambert. What a game-saving, potentially, play for the Warriors. Down 17-7. It looked like they could be going down 24-7 at any given moment. And now they will come back. They get the ball first to start the second half. We always talk about this double dip scenario. Double dip. They can change the nature of the game right here, as SAGU Lady Lions are trying to keep it alive, and they will one more set, for one more play at least.
The handoff here to Chance Whitehead goes out of bounds. No gain there on first down. We're keeping a close eye on that volleyball matchup. It is coming down to the end.
I say it feels like we're just up here spinning plates right now. We got a great football game on the field. We got 6 more football games happening across the nation. SAGU Lady Lions fighting for their season out at Central Methodist. It's we're a circus act here. 3 rings.
We talk about the importance here of Sterling College and this drive to get points going into halftime because they do get the ball back coming out of and into the second half, as you mentioned. So this is a big drive and only one timeout here for Sterling College. Plenty of time left right now, but here's Richardson on 2nd and 11. Back to pass. Gets a go across the middle, and it's brought in by Whitehead for the first down. An incredible catch, falling backwards, going up to get it and bring it in and moving the chains.
First real big play we've seen from Whitehead today. Their top receiver, one of the best receivers in the NAIA. Well-thrown ball and double-teamed, goes up and gets it up to the 43-yard line.
Sends a man in motion. Here's Richardson. He pumps. It's going to be a screen across the middle. He's got some room to work with. He's past the 50, down past the 40, cuts it to the outside, past the 30. He's going to get brought down at the 25-yard line. A huge pitch and catch there from Richardson to the man on the screen, number 25. That was T.C. Smith.
And that's just one he has to get rid of. SAGU was breaking into the backfield. That's the only chance that Richardson had to get rid of that ball. And so, really, this has come down so far on offense for the Warriors to 4 big plays. They had 2 big ones on the touchdown drive, and now back-to-back huge plays facing a 2nd and 11. As we approach 90 seconds left in the half, still plenty of time for the Warriors. Timeout's not a factor as they're down to the 25-yard line.
Not at this point. Empty backfield. He sends a man in motion. He's going to hand it off to that man in motion. He hurdles over the down defender, but he's going to get brought down for a gain of, we'll call it 2 there on first down.
It's Myreek Goodwin-Legree who's going to come pretty much kind of on the end around, running from the start of the play. Has a good head of steam, but SAGU does a good job of cornering him on the left end of the field, knocking him off his feet. Brings up 2nd and 8. Under a minute to play now. Warriors do still have that one timeout.
2nd and 8. Here is Richardson. He's back to pass. Facing pressure. He rolls out, and he's facing heavy pressure. He's going to get brought down. 2nd sack of the day for the Lions. That time, coming off the edge, just a good job of fighting through the blocks was Big 91, Quavian Mitchell. First time we've called his name this season.
I'd say not a name you call very often, especially with how dominant that SAGU defensive line is. Brings up a 3rd and 20 for the Warriors. They're going to need some yards now just to even have a shot at a field goal.
Richardson back to pass. He's going to let it go across or down the sideline, almost intercepted. Praying for a flag is Whitehead. Nothing doing. It's going to be 4th and 20 in an interesting situation here for Sterling College. Not a team that kicks a lot of field goals and has the wind at their face.
It does get a little tangled up there, but I think the ball was overthrown enough that it was hard to plead. Yeah, with the wind in your face, this is a 52-yarder. They're not going to try this field goal. Because there's only 13 seconds left, I think you go for it here. You just go for it. As you look in, 26-26.
It's win by 2 at that point.
It is a battle at Central Methodist. So, yeah, the Warriors are going to go for it here.
They do have a timeout to use. This is a good timeout by Coach Hansen.
Sterling.
So we'll start last here.
Timeout of the half.
We get a chance to watch here. Good timeout by Sterling College. We get to watch the end of this.
Not to say.
SAGU again, the Lady Lions on the left-hand side. They pick up a big point there. It's going to be 27-26, and it is win by 2. So with a point here, they would force it to that all-important 5th set, 1st to 15. This Sterling timeout could not have come at a better time.
I have to say, we try to give you all the coverage we can here on the SAGU Sports Network. And judging by the ruling, they'll go.
And they get it. They force it to set number 5, 28-26. The Lady Lions take set 4 against Central Methodist. And as we get back to action here in Waxahachie, perfectly timed. 4th and 20, 13 seconds left to go in the first half.
And I like the decision here. Even if you don't get it, SAGU's not going to be able to do much at their own 35-yard line with 6 seconds left.
Richardson, he's just going to dump it out to the outside. It's going to be a double pass. That looked like it was a forward pass. I'm not sure if that would have been legal as it stood, but it's going to fall incomplete with 7 seconds left.
Yeah, that pass definitely went forward.
A forward pass.
It stayed behind the line of scrimmage. Now, there was no flag. No flag was thrown, so had they completed it, now maybe there would have been some pleading and discussion had they completed it.
He threw that about 3 yards forward. I'm not sure what was seen by our officials on the field.
Yeah, but that definitely was a double forward pass, and this is not the modified XFL. You can't pull that off quite yet. Nonetheless, though, SAGU with that huge sack right when the Warriors looked like they were going to be able to cut this back to one score. The huge sack forcing the 3rd and long, making 2 big stops there. They'll just come out. Looks like they're going to go into well, they do go 4 wide.
We'll see here. And a false start, not the way you want to start. The final 7 seconds.
73, offense.
Hunter Griffin.
5-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah. Hunter Griffin gets called for the false start.
You have 2 timeouts, but I can't imagine that you're trying to do too much here. This is probably one of those times you just take your knee and get to the locker room. Although you may just hand the ball off to Dudek. I mean, you know he can make a play. Just see if he can break something big.
1st and 15 here, 7 seconds left to play in the first half. Barlow's just going to stay back to pass. May try to launch one deep, checks it down to Dudek. Dudek shrugs off a tackle. That's going to do it for the first half. A pretty good gain there, but nothing doing there for SAGU. We go into halftime with SAGU leading 17-7 over the Sterling College Warriors in the 2021 NCCAA Victory Bowl. Brought to you by the SAGU Sports Network. Solid first half there for SAGU on offense. Kind of petered out there towards the end with the fumble when they looked like they had something going here. But Sterling College put points on the board, that touchdown, when they needed it most.
Yeah, when they needed things most, they got that touchdown down 10, and then forcing that fumble when it looked like SAGU was on the verge of potentially going up 24-7, which would just be such a massive lead. Obviously, if you're the Warriors, it really smarts that you couldn't get any points there at the end of the half when you were really clicking on offense. Nonetheless, though, on those 2 drives, you proved that you can put something together. You proved that you can get down the field.
We're going to go down live to our sideline reporter, Will Boone, who's with defensive coordinator Jared Hutchins, who has to be thrilled with his defense's performance here in the first half, holding the Warriors to 7 points. Mr. Will Boone, Coach Hutchins.
Wait just a moment as they figure out
technical difficulties with the microphone. It's cold down there on the field. Sometimes it makes the microphones not work the way they're supposed to.
But regardless, a big stand there by his defense at the very end when.
Okay, we just got word that the microphone is working. Mr. Will Boone, our sideline reporter, is with defensive coordinator Jared Hutchins. Will, down to you.
Thanks, Adam. Coach, your defense has been dominant all season, and that is no different today. What are you telling your guys in the locker room to get them motivated to finish the last 2 quarters of this season?
Oh, we got to do a better job of tackling today, I think. And then, we started getting pressure with 4, and that really helped us there towards the end. But other than that, we just need to keep playing sound football. They're letting us play physical, so it's good to see that as a defensive coach. So that helps us a lot on the back end.
Sterling has been great on 3rd down all season, but your defense has found a way to make crucial stops on 3rd down, including a 4-man sack with all of your defensive linemen late in the second quarter. What are you doing to continue to stop Sterling on 3rd down?
Well, they're going to come back out and make some adjustments, so we just got to be prepared and ready to make our own adjustments to that. This is going to be a great ball game. They're a heck of a ball club, and they got a winning record just like we do, and they're here to win. So we got to be able to make our adjustments too.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you, Will. Thank you, Coach Hutchins. There you have it. Going into the half, Sterling College will come out with possession in half number 2. 17-7, SAGU leads. Don't go anywhere. The 2021 NCCAA Victory Bowl will continue right here on the SAGU Sports Network.
At AGCU, we are committed to forging relationships centered around faith and finance. Our purpose is to provide financial solutions to help you succeed while we tithe 10% of our annual earnings to ministry and community organizations.
Your mercy's never ending, your kindness never fading. Jesus, you're always with me. You're always with me.
Hey everybody, I'm Kurt Warner, and I wanted to welcome you to today's game. I have always loved football, and my career has taken me and my family on an amazing journey to beat the odds and chase our dreams. Today, I wanted to share this exclusive sneak peek of our journey from the new movie coming to theaters on Christmas Day, American Underdog. I hope you enjoy.
Go ahead, Kurt. Tell me.
Tell you what.
Why a team worth $800 million should put you in the driver's seat. You're too old to be a rookie, so why in the world would I give you this shot?
All my life, I've defined myself through sports. I've always come up empty.
Coach, I can win for you.
You need to start thinking about life after football, son.
I was meant for something more.
Green went down hard and is not getting up.
I wasn't ready for it, but I am now.
You were born for this. Something special about you, son. Destiny belongs to the underdogs. You want to prove that?
When a lot of people think of the NAI, they think, oh, the talent level is less. The talent level is not as great. That is just not true. You know, there's some great athletes out here that maybe didn't have the size or the athletic ability to play at D1 or D2, but the talent level out here is tremendous. If I could give anybody advice or pitch that to anybody, I'd say give the NAI a chance. It's a great place to play.
At AGCU, we are committed to forging relationships centered around faith and finance. Our purpose is to provide financial solutions to help you succeed while we tithe 10% of our annual earnings to ministry and community organizations.
Your mercy's never ending, your kindness never fading. Jesus, you're always with me. You're always with me.
Honey, have you applied to that school yet?
Not really into purple.
SAGU. Never say no to a lion.
At Southwestern, we endeavor to offer more than the average college curriculum, producing men and women whose lives are pleasing to God, and that's worth everything.
Leadership is influence, and there are those who are going to be gifted at it, that God's given them that gift and in that role, and so it's very important that they know how to lead according to the leading of the Spirit.
You may sense a gifting from God to leadership within the church or wherever, the marketplace, but still it would be a good thing for you to receive academic training in that.
The MOL is all about that. It's about helping people discover their giftedness, have a sense of purpose and mission.
It's a 12-course, 36-hour degree concerning organizational leadership.
I do some work as a consultant for the Texas Police Chiefs Association, and I run a leadership academy for them. But I didn't have the credentials other than self-study.
It meets the need for those who are leading ministries or churches.
There's people in there who aren't pastors, who are business people, who are in all kinds of education fields and law. We've had lawyers, we've had military people.
From school teachers to administrators to pastors, associate pastors, leaders of nonprofits, leaders of for-profits. With digital efficiency.
Professors were phenomenal. The way they lay out the course, the way they create safety in that room for you to be who you really are. That's what's important. Leaders need to be authentic. They taught us how to be compassionate, how to be vulnerable, how to be transparent.
but we recognize that there are people on the field who may not be professors, but they've got something to say. So we have two different kind of MOL programs. We have that it can be totally online, or we have what we call an executive MOL, where we bring in a practitioner.
Learn how to manage people from your heart, not just from your head.
And for 3 days, they have an opportunity to hear the passion, the heartbeat of an energized leader. They have an opportunity to rub shoulders with and hear from someone who is doing it from the field.
When I came on campus, it was like a retreat to me. It was refreshing. It was...
Hey everybody, I'm Kurt Warner, and I wanted to welcome you to today's game. I have always loved football, and my career has taken me and my family on an amazing journey to beat the odds and chase our dreams. Today, I wanted to share this exclusive sneak peek of our journey from the new movie coming to theaters on Christmas Day, American Underdog. I hope you enjoy.
Go ahead, Kurt. Tell me.
Tell you what.
Why a team worth $800 million should put you in the driver's seat. You're too old to be a rookie, so why in the world would I give you this shot?
All my life, I've defined myself through sports. I've always come up empty.
Coach, I can win for you. You need to start thinking about life after football, son.
I was meant for something more.
Green went down hard and is not getting up.
I wasn't ready for it, but I am now.
You were born for this.
Something special about you, son.
Destiny.
The wants of the underdogs. You want to prove that?
Welcome back to the NCCAA Victory Bowl here, sponsored by the SAGU Sports Network. We've got a special interview here with Luke Curitan, Director of Advancement for the NCCAA. Luke, how are you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm doing well. It's a great day. It's exciting to be down here in Waxahachie and a beautiful stadium, watching two first-class teams compete. One more game before the season officially ends for them.
It's been a good one so far. If you're just joining us, it is 17-7. SAGU, the Lions, currently leading the Sterling College Warriors out of Sterling, Kansas. You've got a close relationship with Sterling College. Give us a little bit of a background on yourself, where you come from, what your roles are as the Director of Advancement for the NCCAA.
Yeah, that's right. I am a graduate of Sterling College, so it is exciting to see them here this year playing and competing. This is the first year of membership for the Sterling College Warriors, so glad that they've got this opportunity and being able to get the trip down here. I serve as the Director of Advancement at the National Christian College Athletic Association, and so a lot of my responsibilities is fundraising as a nonprofit. Our membership dues covers about 45% of our annual operations budget. So we go out and fundraise the remaining balance through many different activities, events, donors, foundations, and that type of thing.
Now, we talk a lot about the NAIA here, and we're keeping a close eye on their playoffs going on today, the championships, all the way up through the championship. But there are some NCCAA championships happening today. Why don't you give us a little bit about what's going on today and then in the future for the NCCAA?
Yeah, it's a great time of year for us. One that's definitely exciting as we celebrate and crown some champions across many different sports. So we put on 24 national championships throughout the year. Right now going on in Kissimmee, Florida, we have our Division II women's and men's soccer championships today, as well as our Division II women's volleyball championship in Kissimmee as well. And then in 2 weeks, we'll have our Division I men's and women's soccer championships going on in Kissimmee, Florida, and then our Division I women's volleyball championship will be happening at College of the Ozarks, just outside Branson, Missouri.
We're familiar with College of the Ozarks, aren't we, Tim? We've seen them before.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the NCCAA versus the NAIA goes, as far as the playoffs. Now, a lot of people would see the NAIA and the NCCAA at just a different levels. That's not necessarily true. As far as the competition goes, they're neck and neck.
It is very neck and neck. I would agree. Yeah. So our association, we have 90 faith-based colleges and universities throughout the country, and we have one up in Canada, and we have 47 or 37 members that are just NCCAA only. We're their only athletic association, and then we have 53 members who are dual affiliated with the NAI or the NCAA. And so our competition is really strong. We have a lot of our NAI schools do really well in their conferences, finishing in the top half of their sports. And whether or not they qualify for the NAI playoffs, they'll have the opportunity to come compete in our regional championships with the opportunity to go on to the national championships and compete.
And we've seen as SAGU grads and fans, Tim and I, my partner Tim here, we've seen our school play both in the NAIA tournaments and NCCAA tournaments in a various number of sports. And we were talking pregame. A lot of times we look at the champion of an NCCAA bracket and we think that team could beat the eventual champion of the NAIA. So that just goes to show you the level of competition, and it's great to see.
Yeah.
We're big fans of college sports here, and if we can get more, we always want more. So this extra, the Victory Bowl, we weren't planning on it. We didn't know if we were going to host it, and it's just a treat to be able to come out here and call one more game as we are underway here in the second half here. Delay of game. The delay of game here as we start here in the second half. Luke, tell us where you're from. I know that you're not a local guy here to us here in Texas. Tell us where you're from, who you got back home.
Yeah, so our national office is in Greenville, South Carolina, and we've been there about 21 years now. And my wife and I, with our boys, moved out there about 3 years ago from Sterling, Kansas, and my wife and my boys are back home watching the game and listening, and so I'd like to say hi to my beautiful bride Erin and my boys Micah, Noah, and Judah.
Wow.
And missed you guys, but I'll be seeing you soon.
Seeing you soon. We underway here in half number 2. Sterling College with the ball on first down. No gain on the swing pass to the outside. Again, if you're just joining us, Ethan Richardson leading the way for Sterling College, the phenomenal junior quarterback. 17-7 ball game here. He sends Whitehead in motion, almost hits Whitehead with the snap. He's going to hand it off up the middle. And again, the SAGU defense has been phenomenal against the run today. That one goes for a gain of, call it 2, make it 3rd and 8. Another 3rd and 8 that we've seen.
We just keep seeing that. It's like, is there a sign? Is something we're supposed to learn from 3rd and 8? Because it just keeps appearing. And that's really because of the credits of the SAGU defense sniffing out that rushing attack. Again, the Warriors really found it going through the air on their one scoring drive and then one that petered out. So they found some action through the air, have been unable to establish that run yet. And that's something they're going to have to do to really establish a full offensive attack. You can't just rely on big plays to consistently move the ball. And they got a big 3rd down here to start the second half.
Back to passes, Richardson. Pocket collapses, he throws it over the middle, and it's tipped away and caught down the middle. He's down past the 40, looking to get to the sideline. He does get the sideline. 30, 20, knocked out of bounds at the 10-yard line. The ball was tipped, but found the hands of T.C. Smith for a huge gain there on 3rd and 8.
It's going to be Kashawn Kelly here, who's just going to kind of come up a little bit too short. He shorts the ball here a little bit. Should have taken one more step. Instead, tips it. An amazing presence of mind from T.C. Smith to get that hand on it, and it caught the Lions completely off guard that the ball was still live.
Wow.
A huge 3rd and 8 conversion, and it's 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. It's just what I'm saying, you can't establish an entire offense on big plays. Another big one right there, as what almost looked like an interception gets tipped away, and the drive remains alive for Sterling College.
They hand it off up the middle to Goodwin Legree. He's got a short gain, maybe no gain there on 1st down.
Drake Rodriguez coming out of that pile of as per usual. Gets in there and makes the tackle with big number 99, Keandre Belcher.
So, Luke, as we're in the red zone here, or in a goal-to-go situation here for Sterling College, earlier on in the season, the KCAC made a statement about the rest of the NAIA, saying that they think they have the best conference in the country. Now, they do have 2 teams in the playoffs. That is a thing. This is a big matchup today because the Sooner, as we face second and goal here for the Warriors, rolling out is Richardson. Looking for something, nothing there. He's going to let it go, and it's batted away. An incomplete intended receiver that time was Jalen Burns to bring up third down. The Sooner wants to make themselves known. They've got 1 team in the playoffs. They're actually playing pretty well today. Ottawa of Arizona going up against Morningside, who 3 of our 4 pregame pundits picked to win the whole thing other than Tim Roberts. He's looking like a really smart man right now. As far as the KCAC, do you think they do have the best conference in the country?
It's a bold statement to make, and I am not one to recognize that or the other. I mean, I think until you actually can win a national championship, but I do think that the KCAC...
It's picked off in the end zone. I'm sorry, Luke. They've got a return going here. It picked off the end zone past the 20. He's got 1 man to beat past the 40, down to the 50. Tries to cut it inside. He's going to throw a stiff arm down the 30, down the sideline to the 20. Driven out of bounds on a huge hit. Catch and return by Lontarius McLean. Picks it off in the end zone and takes it all the way back just shy of the 15-yard line.
And it looks like Richardson just missed him as McLean is going to drift underneath. He had a man in the corner of the end zone and got a little bit too locked in on him. And then McLean takes this ball back some 84 yards.
Wow.
To set the Lions up to 16, and that is a huge swing as it looked like the Warriors were just about to at least cut this back to 7, if not more.
We talk about big plays and the big pitch and catch on that one from Richardson. They swing it out to Dudek down past the 10. He is going to have just shy of the first down yardage to gain. The big play from Richardson to T.C. Smith to set up themselves in goal-to-go situation, and then Lontarius McLean with the big play of his own. Sorry to cut you off there.
Yeah, no,
crazy.
That was exciting. Yeah.
But as far as the KCAC goes, you think in order to call themselves the best, they got to come away with a national championship this season?
I think you gotta perform on when the big stage matters, and I think they've definitely raised their level of competition across the board in the conference, have done well at the national level. And I think the Sooner obviously has had a strong representation today with Ottawa going to Morningside and competing there. And obviously I think you got 2 quality teams here competing today in our Victory Bowl, representing their conference well.
What a run there by Keaton Dudek. Looked like he was stopped about a yard short, but kept his feet moving and goes into the end zone, and SAGU, pending the extra point, will go up 24-7. What a turn of events. It looked like Sterling College was going to cut this to a one-possession game, and just like that, they're in danger of being down huge.
Yeah, and you see Dudek there really gets stood up twice at the line. Just does a excellent job of keeping those legs churning. That's what we've seen him do a lot this year. And punches it in from the yard out. SAGU only had to go 16 yards there after the interception, and it will be 24-7. And for Sterling College now, that's 2 drives in a row that you had a lot going on, and you just couldn't finish it off. As we go look around at the scoreboard, Kaiser up on Reinhardt still, and that game is approaching the end.
Almost over. Corey Thorpe is keeping a close eye on that one. He was big on Reinhardt going into these playoffs, and they are down 16-13, under a minute to play.
We don't know the scenario there, so
we don't.
We don't know who has the ball or what's going to happen in the next 59 seconds. Meanwhile, Southwestern Mound Builders up 17-6. And Concordia up big at the moment at halftime against St. Xavier.
Now, Luke, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. In pregame, we picked our eventual champions. Now, you've had the advantage of seeing some of the scores so far today, but if you had to pick one coming out of the NAIA, who would you say walks away with this year's title?
Well, I think going into it, I would have put my money on Morningside.
Yes.
However,
joining the party.
And whether or not they overlooked Ottawa or, just whatever the situation is. But I think time in and every year, I think Morningside's been there. They have the experience. They have a really well-run program from the top down, and that's where I would put my money. heading into the playoffs this year.
Well, either way.
And that is true with Ottawa, as we talked about the KCAC needing to, win a championship to establish. The Sooner Athletic Conference have been looking for respect for a very long time now, but they can't ever get into that first round. And that's why Ottawa, a team that put up monster stats all year, their only loss was to Langston, is sitting there at number 15. You could take that as a mark of disrespect, but it's just because the Sooners never won. So if Ottawa can finally pull off that huge win, beat Morningside as they're down by 4 at the half, or at the very least keep it competitive to the very end, that might be finally the breakthrough they need to give the Sooner Athletic Conference a little bit more respect. And, out of Arizona, just a really, really solid team. As we do have a Warrior down at the 15-yard line. Looks like he's going to get up and walk off on his own power.
It looks like number 38, Edwin Robledo, down on the kickoff return.
How much have you seen? You've been around, obviously you mentioned you're a Sterling College alumni yourself. You've been around the NCCAA. How much have you really seen just the overall quality of the NCCAA grow over these last decades? We've mentioned this is, now the 21st year of the Victory Bowl. It's amazing that we have it back, unfortunately. Yeah. Last year, something happened last year. Yeah. Who even knows what happened last year? But how have you really seen the NCCAA grow over these last few decades?
It's been exciting. I think overall, God's kind of continued to orchestrate it and continue to allow us to stay true to our mission and to align with some really great institutions across this country that philosophically believe in Christ and the importance and the value there, and then seeing the value in athletics and competition and postseason championships and everything that goes involved with that. And so it continues to rise, I think, as the NCCAA continues to get recognition at a national level. Our partnerships with both the NAI and the NCAA are strong, and I think that just gives value to who we are and what we do in our championships. And our teams continue to produce, they continue to compete well, and they represent not only their institution in the NCCAA, but also their Savior, Lord and Savior, and on the competitions. And I think that just helps continue to do what we do well and put out a great product nationally.
2nd and 8 carry this time, or 2nd and 4 carry rather this time for the Warriors goes nowhere. That was Micah Snooty on the carry. He's going to get brought down for, they're going to call it no gain, maybe a loss of 1, make it 3rd and 5. Luke, what's next for you? I know that there's a couple of championships here in a couple of weeks. Where do you head next after the Victory Bowl today? What's your next move?
Yeah, so my next move obviously is heading home, and I'm going to spend time with the family for Thanksgiving. And as far as that, just working on some year-end things, finishing up some fundraising there. We have we put out a Pursuit magazine that comes out 3 times a year, and finishing up the December issue there that'll hit mailboxes hopefully here in a couple weeks. And and just kind of helping out the rest of the staff, kind of being available to help wherever they.
I'm sorry, Luke. It's picked off again. Every time you get going, SAGU comes away. And it's fumbled. Sterling hops on it. They've got possession right back. This is a very important scrum here. We'll take a look at who's got possession of the fumble after the interception by Kevion Davis. And SAGU does indeed come away with it.
Comes out with it. Yeah, it looked like the Warriors had clearly fallen on it as a play just kind of turns into an entire jailbreak scenario here.
Kevion Davis had an interception in the first half, called back on a pass interference penalty.
And it's going to get jarred loose right here as he goes through just a host of Warriors. And it really,
Isaac Gowdy came away with it.
And Davis is the one who kind of tripped it loose, and it just kept bobbling loose.
Wow.
And it's going to be Gowdy who falls on it. Yeah, so the action keeps interrupting your sentences, but go ahead and continue on that one.
Yeah, back to Luke, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's just helping out my staff and being available to be there and help them wherever they need fit. And, Lord willing, finish out a few more championships and head into the new 2022 year on a high note, and look forward to rolling into the winter championships and then spring.
What are some of the championships to keep an eye out for in the springtime?
Yeah, so our basketball, our association was founded with a men's basketball tournament, and that's kind of how the National Christian College Athletic Association came about. And so I think both of our basketball tournaments are kind of the premier championships for our association. So those will be happening in March.
And we love basketball here at SAGU. I'm not sure if you're familiar with our program, but they are a lot of fun to watch. The snap is bobbled. Barlow gets it back and slides down. That was a fortunate no-gain play there for SAGU.
Really the third or fourth time now that Barlow has, he's almost thrown some interceptions, has some ball slipped out of his hands, some bad snaps. He has just been dodging disaster back there and just does a good job of getting back on that one.
3rd and 5 here for SAGU. This is an important down here for Sterling College. If they can hold SAGU to 3 points here, they got to be thrilled with 2 turnovers here in the second half.
Yeah, keeping it a 3-score game right now is crucial. You don't want to find yourself down 31-7. You keep it at 27-7, you're still just 20 points down. That's just 3 scores, and they've shown the ability to get some big plays.
Barlow back to pass. He swings it out to Dudek. Dudek is wide open. He makes a move at the 10, makes a man miss into the end zone. Keaton Dudek with his 3rd touchdown of the game, 2 receiving, 1 rushing. And he's going to put SAGU, like you said, Tim, pending an extra point, up 31-7. And SAGU has blown this game absolutely wide open on the back of 2 turnovers here in the second half.
And it's that wheel route again that Barlow's just been going to all game. It just continues to work. Dudek gets plenty of space out there. And yeah, after having to march every single drive of the first half, they do it in very quick succession thanks to 2 interceptions. 2 very short fields. Kieran Woodley's kick is up and good, and it does move to 31-7. So 14 points for the Lions in just a touch over 7 minutes in this half.
Like you said, SAGU on the back of a couple of interceptions, 1 return to the 16 and the other deep in Sterling College territory, has aided 2 touchdowns. Good job by the Lions to convert points on the turnover. Luke, thank you so much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, Luke Curitan, Director of Advancement for the NCCAA. It means a lot that you came down here today all the way from South Carolina. I know you had a couple of different options today as far as where you might have headed, so it means a lot that you made the trip to Waxahachie.
Especially since Florida was one of them, apparently. And just remind folks, obviously, they can find out more at theNCCAA.org, correct? Did I get that
That's
right?
Correct, yep, theNCCAA.org. Thank you guys for everything you do. Thanks for SAGU for hosting the Victory Bowl. Thanks for the SAGU Sports Network for everything, the production, and it's going to be a great second half, and hopefully Sterling can keep a hold of the ball and put some points on the board.
We had to have a little bit of a Sterling take on it. Love to see it. Thank you, Luke. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Guys,
travel safe. We'll talk to you real soon. Thank you. As we get ready here, Sterling College comes back out with possession after the touchback off the foot of Kieran Woodley in a very action-packed start to the second half on the back of some good defense.
About to say, really, those 2 huge plays. Now for Ethan Richardson, it's about calming the team down, getting back out here and just executing 1 play at a time. They really had on that first drive, they were clicking down the field, had the big play, and just missed the underneath defensive back. That interception has seemed to turn things completely around.
Richardson turns around and hands it off, and SAGU again. This defensive front has been so good against the run today. Just have not allowed any cracks in the armor for the SAGU front 7.
None at all between Snooty and Copenny. Neither have been able to find any sort of traction, just a gain of 1 or 2 consistently. And really, you go back to the end of the first half, too, where the Warriors, down 17-7, were driving, had that big sack, couldn't come away with any points. They had the opportunity there for the double dip. They could have got a field goal, a touchdown on either of those, maybe tie the game back up. But the SAGU defense has held when it's mattered most.
2nd and 7. They will turn around and hand it off again. This time, a decent run there on 2nd down. One of their longest of the afternoon. It's going to make it 3rd and about mid here.
Yeah, 3rd and 4, and even with all the 3rd and longs they've been facing, their 3rd down conversion rate is somehow still at 44%, and that's with these consistent 3rd and 8s we've been talking about. Some 3rd and 20s, of course, those are the ones they didn't convert. So this is what they want to do, and this is something they haven't been able to do all game, is establish an offense. Just, chip away, rather than, rely on the big play. So it's a big 3rd down here to try to find any momentum back as they've fallen behind by 24 points.
Rolling out to the left is Richardson. He's going to throw it off his back foot, and that is incomplete. That brings up 4th down. And a decision to be made here, and it will be the punting unit who comes out onto the field for the Warriors.
Yeah, Richardson just kind of got strung out and left on an island out there with no one to go towards.
We saw a 62-yard punt earlier in this game by the first-team all-conference punter Preston Patton. He's got the wind in his face this time. It has died down a little bit, a gust here and there, but the wind's died down just a little. Although I don't know if a 62-yard punt is in the cards this time. End-over-end punt, it'll go out of bounds, so we'll see where SAGU gets possession here. Either way, it's going to be a good field position start here for the Lions. And right at the 45-yard line is where they will take over, up 31-7. A huge, huge lead here for SAGU.
And this just shows you how stats can sometimes deceive you. And nobody loves stats more than me. SAGU scored 17 points in the first half with over 250 total yards. They've only netted around 30 yards this entire half and have almost doubled their score with 14. As you see, the stats haven't changed that much. In fact, Sterling has closed the gap a lot because they're the ones who have put up the yards, whereas SAGU is not. Nonetheless, though, an amazing game so far from Jordan Barlow, 240 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Barlow will hand it off here on first down. Dudek lowers the shoulder. He's got enough for the first. Moves the chains on first down. You saw the total rushing yards allowed by the SAGU defense. I mentioned that they've done a very good job today. You factor in all of the sacks and the TFLs, they're at -3 yards allowed. Coach Hudgens has to be thrilled with how his team has played against the run today.
And in their last home game, they held their opponent underneath 0 yards rushing up until literally the final drive of the game. So that is not unheard of for this Hudgens defense, where he has really just drilled into them. It's so funny. At the end of the half, he was talking about how we got to get better at tackling. They've only given up 7 points, and he's still saying we're not tackling well enough. You know, he drills that much excellence into their minds that 7 points is 7 points too many in his mind.
First down run there, 2nd and 8 on the option to Busby. Here's Barlow, 2 men in the backfield. Takes a snap. He is going to hand it off. That one to Busby again. Or rather, new running back check into the game. I apologize. DeKevion Rose gets his first carry of the ball game.
The Lions have proven all year that they run deep on that rushing attack. It's amazing that when you have a guy like Keaton Dudek, who has been unquestionably the best running back to ever enter this program, that you still have 2 or 3 guys behind him who are all quite capable themselves of helping share the load when needed.
3rd and 6. Barlow hands it off. Here's Busby around the end. He's going to cut it upfield. He's got enough for the first down. Lowers the shoulder, picks up some tough yardage, and moves the chains here again for the Lions. As they move deeper and deeper here into Sterling College territory.
And as I said, another handoff to Busby, who's had a really solid game. He had, of course, the fumble at the end of the half that really seemed like it could have shifted the game entirely. But outside of that one little mistake, which even happened while he was pulling a highlight reel play going for the hurdle, he has been a very big asset so far.
Barlow keeps it. He's going to fake the pitch, run over a man, fall forward for another yard possibly there. They're going to give him about 4 there on first down.
And that's Coban Honey that he's going at. Up by 24 points. Barlow still has no problem initiating contact with linebackers. This guy is a 6'2", 210-pound linebacker. And Jordan Barlow says, well, I'm a 6'2", 210-pound quarterback. So let's just see what happens.
2nd and 6 here for the SAGU offense. Barlow taking his time, letting the play clock wind all the way down. He is back to pass. Pumps. He's going to step up. He's just going to pitch it to his man. That's Busby. Busby tries to make a man miss, gets around the outside, and ducks out of bounds. Does he have enough for the first down? It's going to be awfully close. It may be just about a yard. No, they're going to mark him past the sticks. That will move the chains again here for SAGU. That play was looked like a lot of improvisation there for Barlow.
That was some backfield jazz right there. Barlow was looking to his right, had nothing there, looked to the middle, nothing there. The pocket collapsed, so he starts running around, says, well, I'm running the wrong way. Oh, hey, here's a running back. Let me sort of throw the ball to him, and it's Busby's problem now, not mine. Go get the first down, and Busby did.
1st and 10 here for SAGU. Almost in the red zone. He will hand it off. Here's Busby taking it around the end. He cuts up field. He fumbles the ball. The ball is down. It's live. Sterling says they have it. There was a bunch of Warriors in the vicinity, and they do. Sterling College forces a big turnover as SAGU was driving down the field and looked like they were to get some more points here late in the third quarter. Sterling College comes away with a huge turnover.
And Busby's going to be just sick with himself. His second fumble of the game. And that's a absolute must-have for the Warriors if they want to have any hope of staying in this one. You try to see here who forces it out. It looks like it's going to kind of almost be a gang tackle situation where one guy loosened it and the other one knocked it loose. But I do believe it might have been Kendrick Bell who was the one that finally forced it loose at the very end.
We got a flag here. It's going to be a false start going against the Warriors, so move them back 5.
But yeah, that is a
offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
The Warriors still find themselves very much in a hole, down 24 points. But as we always start, game theorying out a situation, that is still sort of technically a 3-score game. It involves 3 2-point conversions. But going down 38-7 with just a little over a quarter to play, there's not much left to play for. That turnover at least gives you a puncher's chance now. Get a big play or two again and maybe find yourself back in striking distance.
Here's Richardson back to pass. Looking to the outside. He has his man right at the original line of scrimmage. Kevion Davis is going to wrestle him down, but that's a good gain there on 1st and 15. Finds his man Chance Whitehead on the outside.
And you know that he would love to be going to Whitehead a lot more than he has been. Whitehead has had one big catch over the middle. Besides that, he's kind of been restricted to these corner routes. And it's not a bad pickup on first down, picking up 10 yards. But I imagine a situation like this where you need points and you need them in a hurry, that Richardson might be looking Whitehead's way and quickly on a lot of these plays.
Whitehead in motion. Here's Richardson on 2nd and 5. Takes a snap. He's back to pass. He lets it go to the flat. Has his man, Whitehead. He's got enough for the first down. And here we see Chance Whitehead, one of the most targeted receivers in the nation, and you see why. He's been a busy man today.
Yep, and like I said, he's just going to set up, run, does a good job, has that momentum running. When he runs, goes in motion, cuts out, plants his feet, creates a separation. Good read by Richardson to see him doubling back to the ball. Easy pitch and catch for a first down. So they erase a 1st and 15, get up to the 29-yard line.
Back to pass. He gets it out to Whitehead. They got a little screen going here. He's going to pick up, we'll call it 5 there on first down. A decent little pickup there from the swing screen out to Chance Whitehead.
Yeah, this is just a matter of getting the ball to your best player. Just get it into his hands as quickly as possible, in any way possible. We saw him do a direct snap to him earlier. So you need yards and you need them in a hurry right now. And you've had real problems with long developing plays. The SAGU defensive line is going to win that battle eventually. The SAGU secondary is not going to let you get open easily. So it's just a matter of getting the ball into Whitehead's hands before the secondary even has a chance to crash.
And they'll hand it off here on 2nd down. And again, this SAGU, this front 4, this defensive line has just shut down any opportunity and any running lanes. That's going to bring up 3rd and 4.
Keandre Belcher with the bear hug. And you just, we've said it a number of times this year, you just don't break that tackle. There are tackles that athletic running backs can make, can break out of. A Keandre Belcher tackle is just not one that I can imagine anyone is going to easily break out of.
3rd and 4, here's Whitehead. Here's Richardson, sends a man in motion. He's going to roll out to his left. Sets his feet, lets it go towards the sideline, and he's got Chance Whitehead for the first down. So Sterling College, after the turnover, they're moving the chains, a little methodical here late in the third quarter, about 24 seconds left.
And this is going to be Whitehead running straight down the field, backing Kevion Davis off, planting his feet and rushing back to the ball. It's been kind of the same recipe on almost every single completion on this drive.
They don't have to run another play here, but they can if they want to.
The wind is in their face, but obviously time is also a premium. So every play you can get, you take right now.
He's facing pressure, and down he goes. Stepped up to get away from Drake Rodriguez, but waiting were the arms of Keandre Belcher, and down goes Richardson, and that is how the third quarter will end as the teams flip sides here and get ready for the fourth quarter. That's a big sack by SAGU.
Yeah, completely upends what was turning into really the best drive of the game for the Warriors. You've seen them get down the field, but pretty much thanks to one or two big plays. This is the most consistent they've looked all game, marching their way down. So we got score updates here. Of course, Lindsey Wilson won't play until 8 p.m. Morningside up by 4 as they start the second half against Sooner champion Ottawa, Arizona. Grandview up by 24. And there's a live look in from Morningside.
We know those jerseys.
In Ottawa, Arizona. Central Methodist trails Northwestern 17-7. As I mentioned, Grandview is up 31-7 on Dickinson State. Meanwhile, Kaiser does hold on for the upset win. When the numbers get closer, it's harder to call them upsets, but Kaiser hangs on to beat Reinhardt. The Mound Builders still up by 11 on Marion, and Concordia running away with it against St. Xavier. And it does look like the Spirit are driving as they are inside the 20-yard line early in the third quarter.
Led by Austin McCullough, the phenomenal quarterback for the Spirit.
And that would be just such a huge breakthrough, not just for the Spirit, but for this entire conference that SAGU plays in. SAGU trying to really get an extra win today for Sooner Athletic Conference pride, and if you could have that win, this could be a breakthrough day for the Sooner Athletic Conference.
Richardson swings it out wide to Chance Whitehead. He's trying to make something happen here on 2nd and 19. He's going to get back to around that original line of scrimmage, maybe a yard more, makes it about 3rd and 9.
Yeah, gets it back to 3rd and makeable. Good seal block on the outside, as there's just no secret right now to the Warrior game plan, and that is Richardson to Whitehead. Just keep making it happen, and it's worked on this drive to near perfection. They're averaging probably 10, 11 yards on every single completion.
3rd and 9 here for the Warriors. SAGU looks like they may bring pressure. They do bring 5. They bring 4, rather. They've been able to get there with 4. Steps up. Let's go across the middle. He's got his man. He's got enough for the first down. This time finds Jalen Burns as they convert on 3rd and 9 and move the chains to keep this drive alive.
It's actually Jansen Robeson, the first team all-conference tight end, who's going to step up, do a good job. He's the one who had the big play on 3rd down, 3rd and very long, that led to their touchdown. And he makes a huge 3rd down conversion there to keep this drive moving down to the Lions' 35-yard line.
Sends man in motion. Here's 1st and 10. Richardson back to pass. He pumps. He's facing pressure again. Can SAGU get there? He pumps again. Drake Rodriguez cleans it up. The first hand on Richardson was Quavian Mitchell, but Drake Rodriguez is there to help bring him down, and that is a huge loss on 1st down.
Quavian Mitchell had a sack earlier in the game, and I'm not sure if he's going to get any credit on that one, as Drake Rodriguez is the one that's going to lay the big hit, but it's going to be Mitchell who breaks through the line initially. He's going to hold up Richardson, and Rodriguez finishes him off. That is a loss of 15 yards on 1st down. 2 big sacks on this drive. The Warriors were able to rally and convert on the last one. This one is a bit more of a chunk of change.
2nd and 25. Richardson back to pass, looking across the middle. He's got his man. He's trying to pick up some sort of yardage there. He finds T.C. Smith. Makes it 3rd and a little bit more manageable here. It's about 3rd and 20 at this point. They've converted 3rd and 22 so far this afternoon.
And at this point, you're also looking at 4-down territory, inside Lions territory. So don't have to pick it all up in this play. If you have an option to pick up 12, 15 yards, you go ahead and take it. You got a safety valve tight end in there. You got Whitehead all on his own at the top of your screen.
Back to pass. Richardson just going to get it to Whitehead, trying to set up some blocking here and get something going. He's going to get pushed out of bounds by Kevion Davis. That makes it 4th and we'll call it about 12, I think, is we're going to mark him out of bounds. 4th and 13, rather. And like you said, this is 4-down territory. 12 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter here.
Yeah, 4th and 13, they're going to end up saying at the 38-yard line. And this pretty much is the last gasp for the Warriors. They can convert here and go down and get some points. They may have some fight left in them still, but under 12 minutes to play, down by 24, it's going to be very tough to pull anything off. They don't convert right here.
Here's Richardson. He sends Smith in motion. 4th and 13. Richardson back to pass. He's going to roll out to his right. Pumps. Looks to get it across the middle. It's broken up. That will be a turnover on downs, and SAGU survives the fumble without allowing any points, and they will come back out here on offense.
And I think the Lions knew where this play was going. There was quadruple coverage on Whitehead.
I was going to say triple coverage, but you're right. There was 4 guys there.
2 men underneath and 2 up top. The 2 underneath broke it up, and the 2 up top were there to finish the job. If he had caught it, he wasn't going to pick up first down.
How about this? Ottawa of Arizona. They'd score a touchdown, up 38-35 against Morningside. That's a good showing for a Sooner Athletic Conference team. You love to see that.
It's a big game.
There you see some of the stats. Tim, walk us through these.
Yeah, I mean, look at Keaton Dudek. 8 receptions for 94 yards.
Getting involved.
I mean, he hasn't broken 100 rushing, but he's going to break 100 receiving in this game now. He has just been all over the place. Such an absolute weapon as he is going to take the handoff here for a gain of about 6-7 yards on first down.
Makes it 2nd and 3.
His all-purpose yards numbers are just off the charts.
He's not just a running back. He's one of these guys that can also play a big factor in the receiving game. Absolutely. SAGU looks like they are going to take every second of these play clocks down as far as they can. Barlow, 2nd and 3. Sends man in motion. Fakes the handoff. He's going to give it to Dudek. Dudek falls forward just about a yard shy of the first down. The fake little pitch to Colby Tanner by Barlow got the defense moving, but Dudek couldn't quite reach enough for that first down. Makes a 3rd short, however.
A lot of pre-snap motion. We've seen both teams really instituting that today. And that one right there does just enough to give SAGU a little bit of a lane. We'll bring up 3rd and 1. And as you said, the Lions are very content to let the clock be their friend right now. In no hurry to get these snaps off.
Here's Barlow on 3rd and 1. He's going to hand it off. Javante Harper, he makes that one cut and falls forward. That's going to move the chains as the ball is right at midfield here for SAGU.
And Harper's been one of those, a little bit of a revelation. The first time we ever saw him hop in the backfield, we weren't sure what to make of it. But he's taken some direct snaps this year. He's not a running back by assignment by any means, but that is not the first time he's taken a handoff. He's really a very effective short down threat when you do a heavy setup like that.
1st and 10 at midfield. Barlow lets this clock run all the way down. He takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Harper. Harper, following the blocking of the big men up front, he gets stood up after a gain of about 4 as he takes the Lions into Warrior territory.
So just kind of establishing, very different looks right now as you try to salt away this game. Up 31-7, safely in the lead, and as we approach 9 minutes to play, looks like it will stay that way. Ironically, Jordan Barlow may not break 300 yards passing in this game. He had like 180 in the first quarter alone.
Here is the Lions offense on 2nd and 6. Barlow takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Dudek. Dudek makes a man miss in the backfield. He cuts upfield, throws some stiff arms, trying to reach that first down marker, gets swung down out of bounds, but that will bring up 3rd and call it maybe 2 here. So another 3rd and short situation here for the Lions.
As I've said a number of times here, Dudek, he's a weaving runner. He can cut really fast, but what he does best is just sort of put you on a track. And he makes those adjustments to get you out of the way. That's what we saw him do on the touchdown catch earlier. Just ran the right adjustments to get the defender's feet and head in the wrong spot, and then just sort of weaves around you. It happens so fast.
3rd and 3, Barlow back to pass. He thinks he has a free play, but he doesn't. He's going to let it go across the middle. Puts it right on the money to Keaton Dudek. Dudek loses his feet. Ball comes out. I think he was down, however, and they will rule him down before the fumble, so that'll move the chains here for SAGU. That was an interesting-looking play. Barlow, I think maybe he had a free play, he thought, but he just let it go across the middle. Almost took Dudek by surprise.
Yeah, I can't even tell. It almost looked like Dudek thought the ball, and you know what?
That might have been a fumble.
He was ruled down. I don't think he was down. Now, he was able to still get on the ball, although in that situation, he wouldn't have had the first down. They ruled him down very quickly. I think that ball might have been jarred loose before his knee hit. So a little bit of a break for the Lions as they'll keep the clock moving as they pick up another first down to the 38-yard line, under 8 to play.
Barlow hands it off to Javante Harper, rather. Harper loses the ball. Another fumble, and now the Warriors have it. Recovered by Diego Moran. So Sterling College will take over again. Another fumble by the SAGU running back core. And that's going to make you upset if your Coach Smith just fumbles, just giving the ball right back to Sterling College. 7.5 left to go here in the fourth quarter, and now the Warriors have the ball right back.
Yeah, 3 fumbles, all deep to at least moderately into Warrior territory as well. So even though you're up 31-7, those 3 fumbles have taken a lot of points off the board. The one before the half seemingly looked like it might have been close to turning the game around at the point. SAGU technically losing their turnover battle now. They've had 3 turnovers on the game. Luckily for them, their 2 interceptions went for 2 touchdowns on the preceding drives, but the Warriors will take back over now, still just trailing 31-7 after another big defensive stand.
The first down run goes nowhere as Keandre Belcher, surprise, surprise, involved right in the initial contact with running back Jelani Copenny. That's going to go for no yardage and no gain. They're going to call it 2nd and 10.
And I mean, I can't recall, I think the longest run of the game for the Warriors might be 4 yards. And I'm not even exaggerating. That is how strong this Lions front has been. And it hasn't been due to breaking through the line and disrupting and throwing guys for losses in the backfield. It has just been holding the line at the front and bringing them down before they can move.
The pass goes out wide for the intended receiver, number 11, Goodwin Legree, but there is a flag back in the backfield. I'm not sure if they're going to get Rodriguez for a blow to the head.
That's going to be roughing the passer.
First the foul. Roughing the passer. 50. Defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, just kind of landing and throwing those hands forward into the helmet of Richardson. Penalties have stung the Lions a few times today. They had the pass interference called that erased an interception. Had a couple more here and there. And that one's going to give the Warriors a fresh set of downs when they were about to face down a 3rd and 10.
1st and 10 here, new set of downs. Thank you to the penalty against SAGU. Richardson will swing it out to Smith. Smith, he put it on the money, turned around. It was just kind of right there on his hip. He brings it in for 7 yards there on first down.
It looks like that's going to get to Smith about a half second before he was ready for it. And he does a good job of, quickly responding. And he seems a little upset. He thought he had a chance to maybe turn around and break for some more yards there. The Warriors will cross midfield.
2nd and 4 here for Sterling. Send Smith in motion. Richardson back to pass. He's going to roll out to his right, lets it go, and finds his man. It looked like he was bobbling it out of bounds, but they're going to rule that a catch. That's a really good catch on the sideline by Myreek Goodwin Legree.
On the run, Richardson. And it did see, it looks like he was able to just corral it in time to move inside the 35-yard line. And the most effective offensive movement of the game for the Warriors have come on these last 2 drives. He's kind of consistently, pitching and catching their way down the field.
Richardson handles the high snap. He's back to pass. He's going to take a shot deep down the middle of the field. He's got his man off the hands. He can't bring it in. Jansen Robeson, the intended receiver, the tight end, could not bring it in.
Yeah, Robeson's going to get behind the defense here. That's really the first time we've seen that all game, with the Warriors getting past the Lions secondary. Ball was thrown maybe just a little bit too far to his right. That kind of threw Robeson off of his feet as he tried to, sort of semi-dive for it. Was unable to haul it in. And if that had been a little bit better thrown and, if Robeson had been able to hang on, that would have been a touchdown. With 5:38 remaining, though, it brings up 2nd and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Another high snap. Richardson goes up to get it. He swings it out to the outside. Almost intercepted on the outside by Keshawn Kelly. Just could not go down and scoop it off the turf. And fortunate for Richardson, that's not his 3rd interception of the game.
And that's going to be a miscommunication between quarterback and wide receiver. He's going to quickly zip that over there. He was expecting somebody to zig instead of zag. And yeah, he's very fortunate that that was not intercepted. And it could have been, if it had been thrown a little bit higher, it would have been intercepted and easily walked in for a touchdown.
There was nobody in front of Kelly.
Third and 10.
Big down here for the Warriors. Sends Smith in motion, settles into the H-back position. Another high snap, back to pass. The slant pattern is brought in and incomplete. He had it for a second, would have been very close to first down yardage. Might have been about 4th and 1, but it pops out at the last second out of the hands of Goodwin Legree.
And that's Lontarius McClain, who started all of this with the interception in the end zone, with the Lions up 17-7. And McClain is going to be the one that throws him around and knocks that ball loose. So 4th and 10 for the Warriors. Really last gasp here with 5.5 remaining in the game. Lions jump, and that'll be 5 free, so it'll be a little bit easier of a third down, or fourth down.
99 defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
Keandre Belcher jumps off sides. He was ready to get after the quarterback there on 4th down. It's 4th and 10. Those guys love a pass rushing situation.
And Keandre Belcher, this is his last game. He's a senior in the roster there, so he's wanting one more. That's what he's thinking right now.
4th and 5. 5.5 left to play. 5:27 to be exact. Here's Richardson. 4th and 5. Another high snap. He handles it. He's back to pass. He lets it go deep down the sideline, looking for the end zone. It's brought in and caught. What a pitch and catch. He finds his man, Myreek Goodwin Legree, for the touchdown in the back of the end zone. What a ball there by Ethan Richardson.
That's the best route and throw of the game, just over the defender. Goodwin Legree plants both feet, secures the ball. A beautiful throw on 4th down to give Sterling their first points since the start of the second quarter, very early in the second quarter. It will come on for the extra point, down 31-13.
On to kick the extra point is Samuel Paz Perez, the place kicker here for the Warriors. There is going to be a flag for a delay of game, as there was a miscommunication there getting the extra point team onto the field. They're moving back 5.
Delay game. Yeah, 5-yard penalty. Repeat.
So Paz Perez will have to make it a 25-yard field goal as opposed to just a 20-yard extra point attempt. And
a lot of movement up front.
The snap just never came. The holder looked like he was ready, but it just never happened.
It's usually going to be a false start, but we'll wait and see who gets, and they're actually going to move it forward, it looks like.
So right on back to the original line of scrimmage.
Encroachment, 99 defense. Half to the goal, repeat the try.
Ironically, though, it's only half distance to the goal, so it still won't be back to the original line of scrimmage.
Not quite back to the original line of scrimmage.
So a false start cost you 5, but encroachment only cost you 2.5.
This will make it a...
The exchange rate gets funky down inside the 10-yard line for pre-snap penalties.
High snap. The snap is down, or the hold is down, and the extra point is good off the foot of Paz Perez. Yeah, right there at the end.
And I think it's going to be running or roughing into the kicker, as the Warriors will leave. They could assess this on the kick. Score update is Morningside. Bang, bang. 2 quick touchdowns.
Wow.
Gone up by 11 in that one. Wait on the call here.
We got personal foul. Run to the kicker. 91 defense. They're being forced on the kickoff. 15 yards.
So it's a roughing the kicker, not running into the kicker penalty against SAGU.
And the try was good.
There you see the Morningside Mustangs take the lead on Ottawa. Southwestern, the Mound Builders. Ottawa driving, however, after giving up 2 touchdowns.
Southwestern Mound Builders up 17-14 as Marion is cut into that lead. Now this makes it a little bit interesting. Obviously you're down by 17, just 5:20 left to play, but I think definitely at the 50-yard line, there's no reason to not try an onside kick here. Even if you don't recover it, SAGU's only going to get the ball at around the 40. So I think you absolutely try this onside kick just to see if you can kind of keep things rolling in your direction. It'd be
it looks like they're going for it.
Yeah, they're definitely lined up in onside look.
Oh, it's a live ball, but brought in by Zachary Johnson. They were offsides anyway on the try, so that would have been, regardless, would not have gone over to the Warriors.
We're at offside.
And that will just be waved off.
So SAGU will take over here with just over 5 minutes left to play, and this one up 31-14. Really blew it open here in the second half. And fortunately for SAGU, those two interceptions early in the third quarter led to scores because they've fumbled the ball away a lot here in the second half. And the offense has not scored outside those 2 turnovers.
It's very weird to look at a situation where 3 of your last 5 drives, your real drives, not including the end of the half, have ended in fumbles, and you're in totally good situation thanks to those 2 interceptions that set you up inside the 20-yard line twice.
They're going to bring pressure. Barlow swings it out quick. He's got his man. He's going to duck forward. He's got enough for the first down. Runs over a defender. Spins off the attempted tackle. My goodness, on the outside, Adrian Rowell making a play with the ball in his hands.
And that's a very quick pattern out that usually is just going to go for 5 or 6. And he turns it into 15 or 16 inside Warriors territory.
SAGU picks up the first down. We are now officially under 5 minutes left to play in this one. Barlow has been letting this play clock run all the way down. Trying to get out of here with the 2021 NCCAA Victory Bowl victory. Barlow hands it off to Dudek. Dudek's got a lot of room up the middle, and he's going to get taken down just about a yard short of the first down.
That one faked me out. I was looking up top for the screen pattern as well until I realized he's not holding on to the ball. Dudek picks up an easy 9 up the middle. Continuing to add on to his historic rushing season that has far eclipsed any previous Lions running back single season record.
2nd and 1 here for SAGU. The clock approaches 4 minutes left to play. They let it run down under 5, the play clock. They will hand it off to Dude again. He cuts back, cuts upfield. He's got enough for the first down. Needed 1, got 2, maybe got 3. That will move the chains and keep the clock moving here for the Lions. Again, under 4 minutes to play.
And the Lions are closing in now on, as we mentioned in pregame, a historic mark. This win will mark them at 9-3 on the year for what will be their best record of all time. They had an 8-3 season before that ended actually in a Victory Bowl loss to drop them to 8-3. They had started that year 8-1. And unfortunately for them, lost the last 2, the Sooner Athletic Conference Championship game and then the Victory Bowl. But this now will be that elusive 9th win this year. As you mentioned, just 2 years removed from a season in which they didn't win a single game. In 2019, the last normal season, as we'll call it, went 0-10, just couldn't put it together. And what a turnaround job Coach Smith has been able to put together here, building this squad. They went over 500 last year in the fragmented 2020 season. And now here, about to move to 9-3, a Victory Bowl title, and making a case for the best overall season in SAGU history. We were debating some of it pregame, but some of the stats will definitely point towards this team. Of course, for Sterling College, not the way they wanted to end their season, but again, in that funky season last year, went 1-9, and they come back with a 6-5 regular season, hanging tight in a very, very tough KCAC. As the Lions have now moved far enough down the field, and there's enough time left that they can, I think, move into victory formation. We'll see if they'll actually start to kneel down.
3rd and 4. Barlow's going to keep it himself. He falls forward, doesn't quite have enough for the first down.
I thought they had motion for first down. That's on me. I thought they were lining up to kneel down since they picked up the first down. The clock will roll as it will bring up fourth down as we're under 2 minutes left. But yeah, for the Warriors, tough end of the season, losing the Victory Bowl, but after just winning a single game last year, getting 6 wins this year in a very tough conference, and getting that postseason play, getting that extra game in their first Victory Bowl appearance.
About 1 minute and 20 seconds left. SAGU's got about 25 left on the play clock. They can take this all the way under 1 minute. Looks like they will go for it here on fourth down, as regardless of the outcome of this down here. Well, Sterling College will take a timeout here and actually stop the clock with 1:08 left.
Sterling, the first timeout of that.
And for SAGU, this is a year that not only are you 8-3, but we talked about it a little bit. You had 3 losses, all of which you found yourself down massive early to very good teams. The 3 teams that are ahead of you in the conference, all of them were ranked in some fashion during those games. Texas Wesleyan was receiving votes. All 3 of those teams were ranked inside the top 25 at one point this year. You found yourself in huge holes. The Lions came back in every one of those games to cut it to a 1-score game. They were just a few yards away from potentially beating Arizona Christian. They cut it down to 7 against Ottawa, Arizona. Cut it down to 7, I believe, or I think it was even 6 against Texas Wesleyan. They were unable to finish off any of those. But you play a little what-if game. If those first halves has gone a little better, with how dominant they have been now to close the year on 6 straight wins, you have to think going into next year with a lot of these key players coming back, they could just make a swing at the conference title, and they could be playing more postseason football next year.
Barlow keeps it himself here on fourth down. Needed about 4, and he got 3. So Sterling College will take over here with 1 minute and 2 seconds left. And this one down 31-14 in a game that is all but over here in Waxahachie, Texas.
A game that turned in a matter of minutes. At the start of the third quarter, with the Warriors driving down 17-7, looked like they were about to, at the very least, cut it to 1 score on a field goal. An interception in the end zone led to a quick SAGU touchdown, and then another interception just a few plays later led to another quick SAGU touchdown. The Lions have not managed to score since. It's been 2 fumbles and a turnover on downs. Meanwhile, the Warriors have had a turnover on downs deep in Lions territory before they had a nice drive in on a touchdown last time. But those 2 touchdowns in just a span of around 2 or 3 minutes, were a little bit too much for the Warriors to overcome today. As Ethan Richardson will come out one last time. Final 62 seconds of the Victory Bowl.
They will let it go across the middle. One-handed grab. What an incredible catch. Wow. Sticks that left hand out there and brings it in. That was Vincent Conklin who goes up and brings that in.
It may be late, but it's never too late to make a highlight reel catch.
Absolutely. That one's going to go on the highlight reel there for Conklin. Just stuck that left hand out and brought it in.
That's one of those I call a crop play. You take that play, you just crop out what the scoreboard says, and you put it in there.
They're going down the sideline, and it is incomplete. Intended that time for Myreek Goodwin-Legree.
Almost dropped it in there. He puts it over the top of Keyshawn Kelly. And if that have had a little bit more mustard on it, I think Goodwin-Legree is going to get underneath it and take it to the house.
37 seconds left here in this one. Second and 10 here for Sterling College. High snap, pulls it in. Richardson loses it. That's going to be a fumble. And it is recovered by SAGU. And I think we know who hopped on that one. Tim, say it for me. Keandre Belcher.
He's just there. He's just always there. Actually, it wasn't Keandre Belcher.
I thought it was Keandre. It was Joseph Chavez, number 46. I was ready to call his name again, and we're used to it. But Joseph Chavez, correction, he falls on the fumble. And that was just a pump fake and lost control of the ball, did Richardson. And Joseph Chavez Christmas came early for Mrs. Chavez as that one bounces right up into the hands of the big defensive lineman.
Actually, it's not even Joseph Chavez. That is Jaden Chappelle, who's going to get on. Number 64, not 46.
Got it backwards.
Switch it, reverse it. But fitting into this game, as it was SAGU's defense who helped blow it open with 2 interceptions. They fall on the fumble to finish it off. And the SAGU Lions are going to be victorious in the Victory Bowl.
The 2021 NCCAA.
And Coach Smith is getting a Gatorade bottle.
There it is. There's the Gatorade bath. The bottles warmed him up for it, and then the Gatorade bath and the final assault on Coach Ryan Smith. And it's not warm here in Waxahachie. That probably doesn't feel all that good, but it feels a little bit better knowing you're walking away with a Victory Bowl win.
I have a feeling it feels pretty great. After an 0-10 season 2 years ago, I have a feeling walking away with a Gatorade bath 24 months later with every team had to go through at every level of college sports last year. I have a feeling he will take the Gatorade bath even on a slightly, again, we say slightly chilly day. It's November 20th. It's negative 18 some places in the States. We got to be pretty thrilled. Looking at your final stats here, Jordan Barlow, with your offensive player of the game, 263 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 90% of that in the first half. He did all his damage in the first half, had some short fields to work with, executed very well. Keaton Dudek, through the air, will fall just short of 100 yards receiving, 9 receptions for 98 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. He had a rushing touchdown as well. And Zachariah Johnson, he got it all started with the first touchdown of the game to put Lions up 10-0. 5 catches for 81 yards. The other of the twins. Do we know which one's older? Zachariah or Zachary?
I have not been fed that information.
we got to find out which one's the older twin one of these days. But Zachariah Johnson with the big game as the Lions offense, doing it all through the air. The defense, you look up there, via sacks and just holding their own all day, hold the Warriors to negative 29 yards rushing. The Warriors did end up putting up 331 passing yards by the end of it all, with Ethan Richardson throwing a lot in the second half, converting a lot of big plays. The overall yardage margin ends up not being that significant, 395 to 302, thanks mostly to the fact that the Lions had a lot of stands inside their own end of the field, turnovers on downs and regular turnovers, whereas SAGU's 2 touchdowns in the second half came on very short fields. But even though the final stats, which were massively disparate at the beginning of the game, got a little bit closer, the game was never truly in doubt. As you see, Judah the Lion takes the field, taking snapshots with the players. He's in on the victory.
There you hear it, the official announcement, the 2021 NCCAA Victory Bowl champions, your hometown SAGU Lions walk away with a 31-14 victory over the Sterling College Warriors in a win that just has to feel so good, not only for Coach Smith, but for this team that has worked so hard this entire season, especially returning all 22 starters from a season last year that felt at times like it was never going to happen, and then they split it up into fall and spring, and it's just been a phenomenal year. The
we would
best
first like to recognize
in SAGU
two
football
outstanding
program
players.
history. They
And
finished
for the
9-3, picking up that
game,
9th
we would
win
like to say
today
congratulations
against Sterling
to Braden
College. It has
Locke
been
from
absolutely
Sterling.
incredible. What a season for Coach Smith. What a season for this
Braden
SAGU
Locke
team.
is-
We're going to go live for the post-game ceremony here, as
tackles for
said
the
by
game,
our
one for
PA
loss of the
announcer
yardage.
Sean Roberts
Congratulations
for the
to
official
Braden Locke.
post-game NCCAA Victory Bowl ceremony down to the sideline.
And now we would like to recognize our 2021 NCCAA Victory Bowl Outstanding Offensive Player of the Game, which is Jordan Barlow from SAGU. Jordan Barlow was 25 for 30 with over 200 yards passing with 3 touchdowns. Congratulations to Jordan Barlow. And now, our Victory Bowl participant plaque presented to Sterling. Congratulations for the Sterling Warriors for a great season. And now, your 2021 NCCAA Victory Bowl champions, the SAGU Lions. Congratulations, SAGU Lions.
There we go, your 2021 NCCAA Victory Bowl champions, the SAGU Lions. And I love that post-game team picture, sitting down with the banner. That just feels good. That is a feel-good picture. We're going to go to the prayer from our Victory Bowl chaplain with prayer before we recap the end of the game.
And as both teams gather in a closing prayer, to the fans and the teams, thank you for your attendance during the 2021 NCCAA Victory Bowl. And congratulations to Sterling Warriors and the SAGU Lions, your Victory Bowl champions. Please travel home safely and have a great day.
As the teams put on their Victory Bowl championship T-shirts, man, they got those out there quick, didn't they, Tim? Putting them on over the pads. The big boys got the right sizes. You love to see it. That's just an incredible feeling for SAGU. Now, don't forget the two-time Victory Bowl champion SAGU Lions. The win back in 2016 and now the win in 2021. 5-year separation between the two victories. As we look at some of the replays in this action-packed second half, 2 turnovers by SAGU, 2 interceptions by SAGU lead to 2 short drive touchdowns, which is why I think that total yardage is not as big of a margin as we had thought it would be or what it felt like as the second half progressed on. SAGU just did not have to do much with the ball offensively in the second half, as they were kind of just coasting to the victory here in the Victory Bowl. Again, brought to you by the NCCAA and the SAGU Sports Network. Again, if you were unable to hear, the offensive player of the game for the Victory Bowl was Jordan Barlow. Finishes 25 of 30 for 263 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. There you see his stat line there. And to go along with the guys who were taking it from Jordan Barlow today, the receptions, 9 receptions for Keaton Dudek, 98 yards, almost 11 a catch, and 2 touchdowns, as well as Zachariah Johnson, 5 catches, 81 yards, 16 yards a catch, and 1 touchdown for Johnson. It's all around a solid performance, both offensively and then defensively. Tim, we went into halftime with Coach Hudgens saying he was not happy the way his team was tackling in that first half. Whatever he said definitely worked for his guys there in the second half.
Yeah, they stood up strong. They made 2 big plays when they needed to that put the game out of reach, and then just kind of held on for the rest of the game. And you mentioned earlier, obviously, just that feeling of being out there taking that post-game that post-game photo. You get together in training camp and take your team photo, and you always want to end it with one more photo. You always want one more everything. You want one more game, one more photo, and now the Lions have another beautiful blue banner with a red trim to hang up, I assume in the Schaefer Center is where it's probably going to go. And so now it looks like we have got Will Boone.
Yeah, we're going to go live to our sideline reporter, Will Boone, who is with head coach Ryan Smith and he is with offensive player of the game, Jordan Barlow. Again, Barlow went 25 of 30, 263 yards, 3 touchdowns. Coach Smith again. How good does this victory feel for him after going 0-10 2 years ago? And now he's got the Gatorade bath that every coach wants and desires. Will Boone, down to you with the player of the game and head coach Ryan Smith. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Coach Smith. Thank you, Jordan Barlow. Again, offensive player of the game, Jordan Barlow. Coach Smith with that elusive ninth victory. Best season in SAGU football history. That's got to feel good. It has to feel good. Let's take a look at some of the NAIA games across the board. Of course, the playoffs here outside the Victory Bowl. We saw a couple of finals. We saw Auto of Arizona and Morningside. They are in a tight battle there. We'll look at the Morningside. Well, I said it was a tight battle, but Morningside looks like they pulled ahead almost 60 points, 56-38.
They blew it open in a hurry.
Yes, they did. Grandview leading Dickinson State 38-13. Northwestern beating up on Central Methodist 24-7. And then on the other side, we saw some finals there as we see Kaiser upsetting Reinhardt, Marion up on Southwestern 21-17, and then Concordia walking to a victory 47-3. That is going to do it for the SAGU Sports Network here in the fall. I know we're almost at winter. We got Thanksgiving, we got Christmas, and then right around the corner in January, the next SAGU Sports Network broadcast will be basketball, and this team is going to be very fun to watch. Men and women's basketball Monday, January 3rd is the next broadcast against Southwestern Christian at 6 p.m. So keep an eye out for that one. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. There you see an updated score. SAGU did end up coming back to beat Central Methodist 3-2 in the playoffs. So SAGU's season stays alive. And then you see the Lady Lions, the women's basketball team, up 40-26 on the USAO Drovers. Again, our next broadcast here on the SAGU Sports Network, Monday, January 3rd at 6 p.m. against Southwestern Christian. You can rewatch the Victory Bowl anytime on the SAGU Sports Network YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. We've got game notes, news, highlights, and more. Follow the SAGU Sports Network on Twitter and Facebook. Anywhere you can find the SAGU Sports Network, give us a follow. Again, final score, the SAGU Lions 31, the Sterling College Warriors 14. 90% of our crew here at the SAGU Sports Network, if you have not seen us before, if you've not tuned in for any of our games, 90% of our crew is made up of students paying their dues, taking classes, learning the world that is sports broadcasting. We want to thank them for the hard work that they provided so far this season, waking up early, setting up all the equipment. It is amazing to see. They are the reason behind these broadcasts. We want to thank our student-led crew. I'm Adam Ferguson, joined by Tim Roberts, and on behalf of our sideline reporter Will Boone and our entire crew headed up by producer James Lex and director John Cookman. So long from Waxahachie, Texas, and thank you for watching the Victory Bowl right here on the SAGU Sports Network.
Mm-hmm.